You're listening to 2015 Cotuit Kettleers Baseball on the Cape Cod Baseball League Network.
The 0-2. Wiseman sends a bomb to right center. Fraley's going back, so isn't Gray. It's back, it's out of the ballpark. 0-1 hit high and deep to right field. Blake Davey going back, he's gonna watch it fly. Solo shot for Logan Taylor. The Kettleers refuse to go away.
With the Kettleers warm-up, here's Axel Bawada and Dan Silverman.
From Lowell Park in Cotuit, this is Kettleers Baseball. Tonight the Kettleers take on the first place Hyannis. Alongside Axel Bawada, I'm Dan Silverman. Thank you so much for joining us tonight. And Axel, tonight's game, a matchup between teams who are heading in opposite directions right now. Hyannis is red hot. They have won 4 straight. Meanwhile, Cotuit is just 3 straight. And Hyannis looks to keep doing what it's doing. Meanwhile, the Kettleers hoping to turn things around.
Yeah, Cotuit scoring just 3 runs in their last 3 games. Lost those 3 games in just over 24 hours. And like you said, Hyannis heading in a completely opposite direction. They're 6-1. They own the best league in the record. They own the league, They're first place in the East Division, and they're currently on 4-game winning streak as well. Things going really well for the Harbor Hawks.
And in those last 4 games, 4-0 for Hyannis. They've outscored their opponents 25-5, including 17-2 in a doubleheader sweep on Sunday, which is once again the exact Kettleers just scored just 1 run in a loss. They lost both games at YD on Sunday, 4-1 and 4-0, and have scored just 3 runs in their last 3 games.
Yeah, the Hyannis bats really coming big so far this season. They've scored 37 runs, only have 14 runs against. That's the best run differential in the league. And get this, Dan, 9 players are hitting at least Hyannis, and of those 9, 4 are hitting 429 or higher. Overall, this team is hitting 280, really making some noise at the plate.
And the Kettleers just 224. The bats have gone quiet the last 3 days for Cotuit, but hoping to turn things around today against first place Hyannis, who's a 3-game lead for first place in that Western Division ahead of 3 teams who are 3-4, Cotuit, Falmouth, and Wareham, and then Bourne, who's just not found it so far. They're 0-6-1 are the Braves, and it's early on, 3-4, not a perfect start for Cotuit. They're under 500 for the first time. But when you think about it, 4 or 5 teams in each division make the playoffs, and once they're in the playoffs, anything can happen. So the one thing you just can't do is finish last.
Yeah, absolutely. They won't make the playoffs otherwise, and of course only 7 games into the season, but we heard Coach Roberts talk after Game 2 of that YD doubleheaders that this team just needs to hit better. They're really not getting any production at the plate. And with a few players who just left because they signed with teams out of the MLB draft, there's a few guys coming in for Cotuit who are looking to kind of jumpstart this offense. The thing for Cotuit though is that their pitching hasn't been terrible. It's been pretty decent so far. They have a team ERA of 2.53, but of course here Hyannis has an even better team ERA of 1.95. They're just edging out Cotuit in that category. So Cotuit pitching's doing fine. It's the bats that really need to pick it up.
The bats do need to pick things up, as we said before, just 3 runs in the last 3 games for the Kettleers. When you give up less than 3 runs a game, that's not the reason why you're losing. But the problem has been the offense, just 16 runs in those 7 games for the Kettleers, a little bit over 2 runs per game. And as good as your pitching can be, that's just not going to do it in this league.
No, and they've had some players that they've been able to kind of get behind. Michael Paez, specifically 7 hits in 20 at-bats. He's played pretty well in these past 7 games. Keenan Innes as well, hitting 278. The problem, though, is that they don't have many players that are hitting above 250. One of those players was Colin McMillan, who was batting 333. Well, he's no longer here.
And a couple of new guys, though, coming in for the Kettleers. Matt Dacey, Tanner Stanley are gone. But a couple of additions from UCLA. Court Peterson and Brett Stevens, a pair of left-hand batting outfielders who are in the starting lineup today, making their Kettleers debuts, and hopefully the 2 of them can help turn things around.
Yeah, Brett Stevens this past year had a really good year, hit 298, 22 RBIs, walked 19 times. The impressive part was that on-base percentage of 382, just a little bit under 400. Now, the big thing for Cotuit is that they like to run. The second that they get on first base, second base, whatever base, they like to kind of run and try to steal bases. Court Peterson and Brett Stevens are exactly what the doctor ordered in that case. Court's Gort Peterson, 15 for 16 attempts this past year at UCLA, and then Brett Stevens as well, 12 of 14. So definitely Cotuit, Kettleers-style baseball is what they play. That's why they're here.
Starting lineups between the Harbor Hawks and the Kettleers will be right back on the Cape Cod Baseball League Network. Back here at Lowell Park here on Kettleers warm-up. Counting things down until the Kettleers take on the Harbor Hawks. And now a quick look at the starting lineups for both teams. First for the Harbor Hawks, Errol Robinson, the shortstop, leads things off. Austin Hayes, the right fielder, bats second. Davon Shelby is at second. He bats third. The DH, Jake Knoll, bats fourth. Colby Bortles, the first baseman, bats fifth. Last time the Harbor Hawks were here. Ben DeLuzio, the center fielder, in the sixth spot. Jake Rogers, the catcher, who also hit a home run last time. He will bat seventh. David Martinelli, the left fielder, bats eighth. And Justin Arrington is at third, batting ninth. Michael King takes the mound for the Harbor Hawks. Meanwhile, for the Kettleers, Michael Paez in his usual leadoff spot playing second. Keenan Ennis, the left fielder, bats second. Tim Cisnera, the DH tonight, he bats third. Gene Cohen moves into first base. With Matt Dacey gone, he's in the cleanup spot. Gort Peterson is batting fifth in center field, the new man, and his UCLA teammate and fellow newcomer Brett Stevens is in right field batting sixth. Spencer Gaze at third batting seventh. Stefan Alames bats eighth at shortstop. Will Haney rounds out the lineup playing catcher. And batting ninth with Matt Milburn on the mound for the Kettleers. So that's the lineup that the Kettleers and Harbor Hawks will send out today. Cotuit looking to put an end to a 3-game losing skid. And Hyannis looking to win a 5th straight game. We'll go over the pitching matchup next on the Cape Cod Baseball League Network. just a few moments away from getting underway between the Harbor Hawks and the Kettleers. Look at the pitching matchup now. Axel first for the Harbor Hawks. The right-hander Michael King, ready out of Boston College, gets the start for Hyannis.
This past year, made 14 appearances for the Golden Eagles, had 8 starts, just had a 1-5 record, but of course that can be a little bit deceiving as he was a reliever. He had a 3.03 ERA on the mound, so pretty decent year.
And then for the Kettleers, another right-hander, Matt Milburn, makes his first start of the summer.
Out of Wofford College, stands at 6'3", 210 pounds. He's from Dallas, and he's college teammates with ex-Cotuit Kettleer Luke Leftwich, who was drafted this past year in the MLB draft. In 2015, Matthew Milburn went 10-3 in 16 starts, 87 strikeouts in 102 innings pitched.
So the Kettleers just took the field here at Lowell Park. Milburn throwing his warm-up pitches to Will Haney. Very overcast night here in Cotuit. No rain so far. We hope it'll stay that way. But no sign of sunlight, just clear overhead. Pinstripes with Cotuit written in maroon across the front. The numbers below that on the front and bigger on the back. Milburn, along with a couple other players, has his pant legs rolled up, showing off maroon socks. Not something you always see from pitchers, but Milburn likes to have his pants rolled up that way. For Hyannis, the Harbor Hawks wearing their road blue uniforms with orange numbers on the back and orange sleeves. White pants with a blue trim down the side, and for some of them, including Errol Robinson, who will lead things off, pant legs rolled up, showing off blue socks. Also Hyannis written in orange script across the front for the Harbor Hawks with an orange underline. The Mets, the Harbor Hawks did, so that's where the orange and blue color comes from. No surprise to see that there. So definitely a much more colorful uniform for the Harbor Hawks, but the Kettleers with the classic home pinstripes. Hey, Cotuit was just playing in the background. Now that stops. Milburn is just about ready to get this game underway as he gets the ball back from his third baseman, Spencer Gay. Errol Robinson steps into the box to lead things off, and we are just about ready for baseball. Robinson, a right-hand batter. The first 7 batters for the Harbor Hawks in the lineup today are right-handers. Then the final tees. Milburn works from the full windup. The righty kicks and fires home. A fastball that hits the outside corner for a called strike, 0-1. And we're underway.
Errol Robinson's hometown, Oxford, Mississippi, goes to University of Mississippi.
The 0-1. Swinging a high pop foul off to the right, out of play. Got underneath the breaking ball. It's 0-2. Defensively for Cotuit, Keenan Innes gets the start in left. Court Peterson in center. Brett Stevens in right. Spencer Gay at third. Stefan Alames at short. Michael Piaz at second. Gene Cohn at first. And here's the 0-2 pitch. Swinging a grounder to first, right for Cohn. And the lefty will run it to the base himself in time. 1 away. Speaking of Will Haney, he's behind the plate doing the catching for the right-hander Matt Milburn. It's got to be a good confidence boost for Cohn, too. He doesn't play much first base, but with no natural first baseman on the roster, he's forced into that position now that Matt Dacey is left.
Yeah, and prior to that, he spent most of his time out there as the starting center fielder. Had a potential really good grab yesterday against Yarmouth Dennis.
Austin Hayes, the batter. He takes a curveball right down the middle for a called strike, 0-1. After Hayes, it'll be Javon Shelby here in the first inning for Hyannis. Here's Milburn's 0-1. Taken downstairs at changeup. 1 ball and 1 strike. Hayes goes to Jacksonville, and he hits one high in the air down the right field line. Moving over is Stevens, and in fair territory, he makes the catch. 2 men away.
And with that out, Austin Hayes, now batting under 200 this season, has 4 hits in 21 at-bats.
So 2 up, 2 down for Milburn here in the first inning. That'll bring up the second baseman, Javon Shelby. Shelby batting .321 on the season. He's been very good in that 3-hole. He has 3 doubles, although none of them since last week here at Cotuit. Milburn deals the first pitch, and it's taken downstairs an off-speed pitch, 1-0. Spencer Gay, third, plays just about even with the base to guard against a bunt. Now takes a couple of steps back. Here's the 1-0. Fastball taken inside. 2 balls and no strikes. 2 outs, no one on. Just getting started here in the first inning at Lowell Park between the Kettleers and the Harbor Hawks. The 2-0. Swing and a ground ball foul past third. Curveball. 2 balls and 1 strike on Shelby. Milburn working quickly. Into the full wind pitch. Swing and a high pop-up. First base side and foul ground. Cone gives it a look, and it's Milburn who reaches over by the dugout. But he can't make the play. It hits off that dugout fence and caroms right near the pitcher's mound.
Yeah, Milburn was very close to squeezing that one for and out, but ball fell just right in front. As you said, hit that. Perhaps he was looking not to run into it.
Well, he almost came up with that one, but just unable to reach it, so a 2-2 count on Shelby. He looked a little bit wary when he ran near that dugout fence. He's not used to having to make running plays in foul ground. 2-2 the pitch. Curveball missed up and in. Full count on Javon Shelby. Full count, 2 outs, no one on in the first inning. Milburn deals a payoff. Swinging a ground ball towards short. Alamaze charges. Gloves behind the back. Throws on a hop to first. Gets away from Cone. The runner's safe. And is packed up by Haney. Well, that was a weird play. Alamaze gloved it on the run. Guess he couldn't quite transfer it to his hand. And transferred it behind his back before throwing low to first. And also not in time. So we'll see how that one scored. Nothing on this. But Shelby safe at first with 2 men down. Alamaze usually so sure-handed at shortstop, just couldn't make that play. And it'll be an infield single for Shelby. So he's on first, 2 down. Jake Knoll now the batter. Milburn from the stretch. Spin throw to first, and not in time. Shelby just able to get a hand back in there ahead of the swipe tag from Gene Cone. Pretty close play. Good pickoff move from the righty. Shelby stretches his lead. Cone holds him on. First pitch to Knoll. Taken out for a strike. Throw to first. Not in time. Well, Haney aggressively trying to pick off the runner. But a closer play there. Shelby was able to dive in safely. Pitch was a strike to Knoll on the outside corner. Home plate up with a bit of a delayed strike call this afternoon. 0-1 on the DH. Man on first, 2 down. Spin throw to first. A tag. Not in time. Another very close play.
Yeah,
Milburn's got a good pickoff move.
he does, and they're really targeting Javon Shelby, who is only 1 for 2 on the season in stolen base attempts. Would really like to get him here. Apparently, they think he's going to go run.
0-1 on Knoll. The pitch, swinging a line drive into right field. That's a base hit. Cut off towards the line by Stevens. Shelby goes first to third. The throw goes into Paez at second. And a couple of 2-out hits have runners on the corners for the Harbor Hawks.
It was a nice slicing line drive there into shallow right, and by the time it got to out there in right field, Shelby was already running for third, so heads-up base running by him, realizing that he had enough time to get over to the corner.
Well, all that focus was put onto Shelby by Milburn, and he couldn't get the batter Knoll out. So men on the corners, 2 men down. Shelby's on third, Knoll on first after a couple of singles. And the always dangerous Colby Bortles coming up. Big right-hand batter with power. Milburn set. Here's the first pitch. Swing and a foul back to the screen. A curveball, 0-1. Bortles playing here last week had a long home run over the fence in right center field. His only home run of the year, but he hit that one pretty darn far against Cal Becker in the Harbor Hawks 5-0 win here last Wednesday. Milburn set. Here's the 0-1. In the dirt, blocked by Haney. Runner goes to second. The throw down, slide, safe. Got in safely ahead of the tag by Paez. Shelby holds at third. And Knoll safe at second. We'll see how it scored. He waited till the ball was in the dirt to run. So probably not a stolen base. But we'll wait on the scoring. Either way, second and third now with 2 men down. And Bortles in a good RBI spot. The count even 1-1. Milburn set. Now the pitch. Check swing and a breaking ball in the dirt. Nicely blocked by Haney. 2 balls and 1 strike on Bortles. Milburn has to be careful with those pitches in the dirt here. If something gets away from Haney, Shelby could run down the line and score. 2-1 the count. 2 men down in the first inning. Milburn third. Now the 2-1. Swing and a chop foul third base side. 2-2 on Bortles. If Bortles gets on, Ben DeLuzio, the center fielder, would bat next. But Milburn looks to put an end to this inning right here. Righty peers in for the sign. Bortles ready in the box. Milburn still peering in. Shakes off Haney. Holding the ball behind his back. Now the righty comes set. The 2-2 pitch. In the dirt. Gets by Haney, but hit off the umpire's leg, I think, and Karam's right back to him, so Shelby stays at third. Fortunate Karam there for the Kettleers.
Yeah, over there on third base, Shelby looked to make a break for home plate, but then saw that the ball kind of got stuck after it hit the umpire's leg.
So the count full on Bortles. Shelby the runner on third, Noel on second, with 2 men down in the first. Milburn set. The payoff pitch. Swing on a looper foul. Back behind home plate, and we'll do it again. Milburn struggling to find that put-away pitch against the right-hand batter. Got the first 2 men down, then an infield single to Shelby before Noel lined a base hit into right. Now 3-2 on Bortles. Milburn comes set. Looks at third. The leg kick in the 3-2. Swinging a ground ball to short. Alamaze gloves it, throws on the run to first, and it pulls Cohen off the base. Bortles is safe. Shelby scores, and the Harbor Hawks have a 1-0 lead.
I'm not really sure what happened there. Alamaze was able to charge that ball, made a pretty easy, clean throw over to first, but I guess he was off the marker a bit, and it pulled Cohen off the bag. Cohen's not an everyday first baseman, and wasn't on the mark right there. So already, Cotuit trailing 1 in the first inning. And
Alamaze usually very sure-handed at shortstop. He's already made a rough play on the Shelby infield single, and then an error here, an unearned run in E6 that allows Shelby to score, Noel to third. Bortles safe at first, still 2 men away, and Ben DeLuzio coming up. Right-hand batter as the righty Milburn peers in for the sign. Shakes off Handy a couple of times, now time called at home plate by DeLuzio. 1-0 Hyannis, top of the first inning here at Lowell Park. And not the start that the Kettleers were hoping for. Milburn set, first pitch, fastball, taken downstairs, 1-0. First fastball we've seen in a while from Milburn. Threw a lot of breaking balls and off-speed pitches to Bortles. Runners lead off first and third in the first inning. Milburn set. Spin to first, Bortles back in standing. Not taking a very big lead. He's a big guy, not much of a threat to run. Doesn't have a stolen base attempt so far this summer. Milburn set. Here's the 1-0. Taken downstairs, a fastball. 2 balls, no strikes on DeLuzio with Jake Rogers on deck. Outfield straight away against the right-hand batter, who's ahead in the count 2-0. Milburn deals. Breaking ball taken on the inside corner. A good curveball. It's 2-1. Well, he wasn't located in the fastball. He went to the off-speed and was able to sneak that one onto the corner. 2-1 on DeLuzio. He's batting an even .333 on the year. He's 4 for 12. The 2-1, swing and a miss. Runner goes to second. No throw made by Haney. A delayed steal for Bortles. Might have had a chance at him, but chose not to throw it with Noel on third.
Yeah, you don't want to risk allowing Jake Noel to score from third. Imagine there that if Haney doesn't connect with Paez, that one goes into center field, then they find themselves in an early 2-0 hole here already in the top of the first.
So Hyannis taking advantage on the base paths. This is a team that's 17 for 20. The 2-2, swing and a chop towards third. Spencer Gay charges, fields the big hop, fires to first. Not in time. DeLuzio beat it out. Gay took a little bit too long, and the Harbor Hawks have a 2-0 lead. The crowd not so happy with that one. Cone started walking towards the dugout. He thought he was out, and now pleading his case with the first base umpire. But that's not going to make a difference. It's an infield single for DeLuzio, and more poor infield defense from Cotuit makes it 2-0. The inning still goes on. Men on the corners, 2 men down, and Jake Rogers coming up.
Second seemingly routine ground ball that's not handled right, and Cotuit are being made to pay by Hyannis by little mistakes.
Milburn set. First pitch. Swinging a looper towards right. Now backing up on it is Stevens. He makes the catch. That ball carried on him, and the inning comes to a close. But Hyannis gets 2 runs on 3 hits, a big error, and 2 men left. Middle of the first inning, it's the Harbor Hawks 2, and the Kettleers coming up on the Cape Cod Baseball League Network.
Cape Cod offers Cape Cod residents and visitors convenient urgent medical care by emergency room trained physicians at the Fontaine Outpatient Center in Harwich and the Stoneman Outpatient Center in Sandwich. For sore throats and coughs, x-rays and splinting, suturing of lacerations, and much, much more, come to the Stoneman Outpatient Center, Jan Sebastian Drive, just off of Exit 2 in Sandwich, or the Fontaine Outpatient Center at 525 Long Pond Drive, just off Exit 11 in Harwich. Both have extended evening and weekend hours, and both centers are staffed by emergency room physicians. No appointment or referral is necessary. Cape Cod Healthcare, expert physicians, quality hospitals, superior care.
2-0 Hyannis on top, last of the first inning here at Lowell Park. Both of those runs unearned for the Harbor Hawks thanks to an error on Stefan Alames. The second run came in on an infield single after Spencer Gay just took too long on a ground ball. So the Kettleers in an early hole, and not a good sign for an offense that's been struggling. They face the right-hander Michael King from Boston College. From the full windup to Michael Paez, he deals the first pitch, fastball, strike at the knees, 0-1. Paez, then Hyannis, and then Cisnera in the first inning for Cotuit. Here's the righty's 0-1. Fastball missed upstairs and pops out of the glove of Rogers back to the screen. It's 1-1.
Michael Paez in Monday's doubleheader against YD did go 3 for 4, walked 3 times.
Here's the 1-1. Swinging a one-hopper at short. Robinson scoops it up, sets, fires to first, in away. Well, Paez has been the table setter at the top of that lineup for Cotuit this season. And hit that ball pretty well, but right at Robinson, who had a pretty easy play for it. So 1 up, 1 down. Keenan Hyannis now the batter. Hyannis starting in left field this afternoon. He's batting .278. First pitch, fastball taken right down. Strike, 0-1. 91 miles an hour on that fastball from Michael King. Here's the 0-1. Swing and a miss. A beautiful changeup. Hyannis was way out in front of that one. It's 0-2. King has a pretty fast windup. Kind of just slides his foot onto the rubber. Here's the 0-2. Swinging a line drive into right center field. Running over is Hayes, and he makes the catch. He was shaded towards right center. 2 men away. Frustrating for Hyannis there. He hit that one pretty well. But Hayes was playing him in the gap to begin with. So 2 up, 2 down in the first inning, and that'll bring up the DH Tim Cisnera. Cisnera, a catcher when he's in the field, but Will Haney gets the start today, so he's the designated hitter. Left-hand batter, King deals, and a fastball is taken on the outside corner for a called strike, 0-1.
Tim Cisnera got the start in Game 2 of that doubleheader against YD on Sunday and went 1 for 3.
King kicks and fires home. Swing and a dribbler foul over by the on-deck circle and near Gene Cohn. It's 0-2. 2 outs, no one on last of the first inning here at Lowell Park. Hyannis on top of Cotuit, 2-0. King shakes off Rogers a couple times. Now the 0-2 pitch, taken a little bit inside a fastball. The whole left side of the infield thought that was a strike. Robinson and Arrington started walking off the field. And King starts his windup and now stops. Looked like he didn't like the footing he had on the mound. So 1-2 on Cisnera. King kicks and fires home. Swing and a miss, strike 3. Got him with a breaking ball. And there's a 1-2-3 first inning for Michael King. Kettleers going over at the end of 1. It's the Harbor Hawks 2 and the Kettleers 0 on the Cape Cod Baseball League Network.
Celebrate history and build for the future, brick by brick. That's the slogan for the Cotuit Kettleers Engraved Brick Fundraiser. The bricks we engrave for you will replace the blank bricks in the plaza area behind home plate. Cheer on the Kettleers, honor that special someone, celebrate a life event, or recognize your business. These are only a few examples of what you might want on your engraved brick. To get started, visit the Kettleers website at www.kettleers.org or stop by the tables under the red tents at all Kettleer home games.
2-0 Hyannis on top. We go to the top of inning number 2 here at Lowell Park. 8-9-1 for the Harbor Hawks coming up after they scored 2 unearned runs off of Matt Milburn in the first inning. And unearned runs, not something Cotuit can afford to give up right now. The Kettleers offense, as we've talked about, Axel, has really struggled. Just 3 runs in these past 3 games and not off to a good start. Down 2-0 after 1. David Martinelli leads things off. Left-hand batter playing left field. Spencer Gay moves in at third. The first pitch from Milburn is swung on and grounded it towards second. Paez fields a big hop and slings it over to Cohen at first. 1 pitch and 1 man down in the second. Well, the first inning started off looking very smooth for Matt Milburn. Retired the first 2 batters. And then Javon Shelby had an infield single. Jake Knoll had a single. An error single. Then plated a pair of runs. And Milburn did not get the help he needed from his defense. 1 up, 1 down in the second. Justin Arrington now the batter. Left-hand batter. First pitch. He takes a fastball strike on the outside corner, 0-1. Arrington has had an impressive start to his season. Just a temporary player. But he's batting 438 in 16 at-bats. Milburn's 0-1. Breaking ball, catches the knees down the middle for a called strike, 0-2.
And he doesn't even lead Hyannis in batting average. That distinction goes to Jacob Knoll, who is batting 500 on the year.
Although a smaller sample size for Knoll, just 5 for 9 after his first inning hit. The 0-2 swing and a miss, a fastball away. Got him swinging. 2 up, 2 down in the second. Now back to the top of the lineup for the Harbor Hawks. Errol Robinson, the batter. Grounded out to first to start the ball game. He's been a spork at the top of the lineup, though, hitting .353 before that first inning ground out. Now an even .333 at 6 for 18. Milburn from the full windup with Gay playing in at third. The first pitch is swung on and looped in the air down the left field line, slicing towards foul territory, and it drops in foul. Keenan Innes had no chance to get to that one. And he's got to be happy that one dropped in foul. 0-1 on Robinson. Batting with 2 outs, no one on in the second. Harbor Hawks, Kettleers 0. Outfield straight away against the right-hand batter. Robinson not a power hitter. The pitch in the dirt, a changeup. 1 ball and 1 strike. He's got 2 doubles on the year. Those were his only 2 extra base hits. Here's the 1-1. Swing and a miss. He was badly fooled out of breaking ball. 1 ball. Robinson. Kind of at a half swing there and went around more than enough for it to be a swing. Did not look good at that curveball. So 1-2. Milburn kicks and fires. Swinging a looper towards right, running over towards right center is Stevens. He makes the catch, and the inning is over. Milburn sets down Hyannis 1-2-3. We go to the bottom of the second here at Lowell Park. It's the Harbor Hawks 2 and the Kettleers nothing on the Cape Cod Baseball League Network.
Do you know what that sound is? That's your new digital marketing department. And that'll be your new web designer. And that's Haibu, where these experts are joined by many more, from web designers to search marketing specialists who work hard to get your business noticed online and on mobile. Best of all, Haibu can do it all for you, or give you the tools to do it yourself. To find out more, go to haibu.com. That's HIBU.com. Or call 855-464-HIBU. Oh, that'll be your next new customer. Haibu, made for business.
Two to nothing, Hyannis on top. We go to the last of inning number 2 here at Lowell Park. Dan Silverman, Axel Boada with you this afternoon as the Kettleers look to put an end to a 3-game losing skid. Well, they kind of picked the wrong team to go up against. The Harbor Hawks are winners of 4 straight and in first place in the West. Gene Cohn leads things off, left-hand batter playing first base today. And the righty King deals a fastball taken right down the middle. 0-1 on Cohn. Cohn, then Peterson, then Stevens in the second. A trio of left-hand batters for Cotuit. Here's the 0-1. Swinging a rip foul back to the screen. It's 0-2 on. Outfield shaded towards the left against the left-hand batter. Deluzio in center, probably 10 to 15 steps towards left center. Here's the 0-2. Swinging a liner right at the first baseman, Bortles, who makes the catch about shin high for out number 1. Well, Cohn hit that one well, but right at Bortles. So 1 up, 1 down. And now we get our first look at a pair of outfielders from UCLA. Court Peterson, the batter. Left-hand batter playing center field today. His UCLA teammate Brett Stevens is on deck. King deals to Peterson. Changed up, taken outside, 1-0.
Court Peterson this past season at UCLA hit .274, had 12 extra base hits.
King's 1-0. Taken outside, another changeup. 2 balls, no strikes on Peterson, with Stevens waiting on deck. 1 out, no one on, bottom 2. It's 2-0 Hyannis. King deals. Swinging a ground ball up the middle. To his right is Shelby. Fields it, throws to first, and it's in time. A nice play by the second baseman. 2 men down.
Pretty nice throw there by Shelby, kind of jumping in the air and throwing across his body. Kind of sidearmed that to Bortles over at first.
Off the bat, looked like that was headed right into center field for a base hit for Peterson. But a nice play by Shelby. So 2 up, 2 down in the second. And now we get to see another newcomer, Brett Stevens. Stevens and Peterson teammates at UCLA. First pitch to the lefty. He swings and lines one into center field. That one's past Shelby and drops in front of Deluzio for a base hit. First base runner for Cotuit, a 2-out single for Stevens here in the second. And that'll bring up Spencer Gay.
Stevens wasting little to no time in his first appearance here for Cotuit. First pitch he sees, he swings at, gets a base hit.
So King now from the stretch for the first time. Stevens takes his lead. First pitch to Gay, inside a fastball. He backed off the plate, 1-0. Well, Stevens, someone who loves to run. He and Peterson combined 27 for 30 stealing bases at UCLA this season. King comes set. Pauses. Here's the 1-0. Swinging a ground ball towards short. Charging it is Robinson. Throws to first on the run just in time to get Gay. And the inning is over. No runs, 1 hit, no errors, 1 left. At the end of 2, it's the Harbor Hawks 2 and the Kettleers nothing on the Cape Cod Baseball League Network.
The Kettleers and Cotuit Athletic Association welcomes Spencer Hallett Plumbing and Heating as a premium sponsor and member of the exclusive Kettleers Club in 2015. This family-owned business has been providing heating and plumbing services to businesses and homeowners on Cape Cod for over 100 years. It's what you'd call local, as Spencer is a 4th-generation member of the business and 12th-generation Cape Codder. If you're looking for quality plumbing and heating work, call Spencer Hallett at 508-428-6080 or visit their website at hallettplumbing.com.
Top of the 3rd inning here at Lowell Park. Cotuit Kettleers trailing the Hyannis Harborhawks 2-0 in Game 2 of this Barnstable Cup rivalry. Now, first game, Hyannis defeated Cotuit 5-0, and that was here at Lowell Park last Wednesday, so just about a week ago. Coming up to the plate now for Hyannis is Austin Hayes, who in the first inning flew out to right fielder Brett Stevens. Matt Milbert back on the mound. He's given up 3 hits. 2 runs have scored, both unearned. A big error by Steven Alames at shortstop, and then a ball misplayed by Spencer Gay at third. That's the reason for this deficit. First pitch to Hayes, big swing and a miss. Fastball low and outside. Fools him. A 1 count now to Hayes. Wearing number 29, plays right field. 0-1. That is hit to right field. Brett Stevens is there for the out. So 2 pitches, 1 out. Fly out. That brings up Javon Shelby. In the first inning, had a base hit. And scored on the error by Stephen Alames. Scored the first run of this ball game.
5 straight retired now by Milburn, so maybe he's starting to settle down a little bit after that rough first.
First pitch, big swing and a miss. Shelby chasing a breaking ball low and outside of the zone. So Milburn ahead 0-1. And the pitch gets grounded to Gay over at third. He can't handle it. Bobbles it, throw over to Cone at first. Is in time. And that could have been another dangerous situation there. The ball was grounded right to over at third. Kind of dropped it and then had some difficulty locating the ball once it was in the dirt, but rocketed one over to Cone for the out.
And a good job by Gay to stick with that, too, because he lost it trying to transfer it to his hand and didn't give up on the play.
First pitch to Jake Knoll. Fastball low and inside for strike 1. Jake Knoll in the first inning had a base hit, also stole a base. And he fouls one over to the left side. Matt Milburn wasting little to no time in between pitches there. 0-2, 1-1 to Jake Knoll. He squares back up. Righty pitcher to the righty hitter, the 1-1. Knoll lays off of a breaking ball for ball 2. 2-1 is the count. Cotuit trails 2-0. Top of the 3rd inning. 2-1 to Knoll. He swings at and hits that one into left field. It'll actually be left center, and Court Peterson is there for the out. So 1-2-3 inning for Matt Milburn. No runners, 1 hits, and no runners left on base. We head to the bottom of the 3rd inning here in Cotuit. You're listening to Cotuit Kettleers Baseball here on the Cape Cod Baseball League Network.
Chatham Bars Inn Resort and Spa, a time you'll always remember, a place you'll never forget. A proud member of leading hotels of the world.
Okay, sure. You're gonna Bottom of the third here in at Lowell Park. Stephen Alamay swings at the first pitch that goes shortstop to first base for and out. That was Robinson who handled that one in the dirt. So he swings at the first pitch. Bottom of the third inning, the Hyannis Harbor Hawks 2-0. Stephen Alamay grounding out for the first out of the bottom of the inning. Will Haney now stepping up to the plate. Will Haney in the doubleheader against YD went 1 for 4 with a double and 2 strikeouts. He's batting in the righties box today. He was doing some switch hitting in that doubleheader on Sunday. First pitch to Haney. Fastball high and outside. Ball 1. He steps out of the batter's box, steps back in, touches home plate, swings the bat around his right shoulder. The 1-0 to Haney. Doesn't swing out. That's a nice off-speed pitch. That's in for strike 1. 1-1 is the count. Will Haney takes a practice hack outside of the batter's box, steps back in. 1-1. Breaking ball low and inside for strike 2. Michael King threw 2 1/3 innings pitched. He's only given up 1 hit. Righty making quick work between pitches. The 1-2 to Haney. And he strikes out looking. Bit of a delayed call there by the home plate umpire. An off-speed pitch there. Froze Will Haney. Doesn't swing at that one. First 2 batters faced. They're retired, and that brings up Michael Paez, who in the first inning grounded out, 6-3 ground out. Batting .333 on the season. First pitch, fastball low and inside for strike 1. The 0-1 to Paez. Another fastball low in the zone for a strike, so Paez finds himself trailing this count 0-2. Michael King working quickly out of the windup. The 0-2 to Paez. Does not swing at that one. That's a off-speed pitch in the dirt for ball 1.
King doing a great job hitting his spots early on in this game. Those first 2 pitches to Paez hit the knees perfectly, and he hasn't given the Cotuit Kettleers much to hit.
The 1-2 to Paez. Paez swings and fouls it, just nubs it behind home plate. So we'll redo 1 and 2. Steps back out of the box, readjusts his gloves and his batting helmet. Steps back in the plate. Paez is a right-handed batter. The 1 and 2. Fastball high and away for ball 2. So Michael King, 89-mile-an-hour fastball, misses upstairs. Evens the count at 2-2. And here's the pitch. Michael Paez nubs that one again behind home plate. Just barely got his bat on it. We'll redo 2 and 2. Bottom of the third inning, Cotuit trailing 2-0, 2 outs. And a 2-2 count to the second baseman from Coastal Carolina. He squares back up, then 2 and 2. Paez swings and hits that one to left center and flies out to DeLuzio out there in center field. So another 1-2-3 inning for Michael King. We head to the top of the 4th inning. Hyannis leading the Cotuit Kettleers 2-0 here on the Cape Cod Baseball League Network.
Celebrate history and build for the future, brick by brick. That's the slogan for the Cotuit Kettleers engraved brick fundraiser. The bricks we engrave for you will replace the blank bricks in the plaza area behind home plate. Cheer on the Kettleers, honor that special someone, celebrate a life event, or recognize your business. These are only a few examples of what you might want on your engraved brick. To get started, visit the Kettleers website at www.kettleers.org or stop by the tables under the red tents at all Kettleer home games.
top of the fourth inning here at Lowell Park. The Cotuit Kettleers trail the Hyannis Harborhawks 2-0. Coming up to bat now is Colby Bortles. After him, Ben DeLuzio. Batting third is Jake Rogers now. Before we get to that, we have a special guest here in the booth, Jonathan DeCoste from Cape Cod Healthcare. Jonathan, how are you doing today?
I'm doing great. Good evening, everybody.
So if you can go ahead and tell us a bit about who you are and what you do at Cape Cod Healthcare.
Sure. As you mentioned, my name is Jonathan DeCoste, and I'm the donor recruiter for Cape Cod Healthcare. So what I do is I help coordinate all the blood drives that the hospital runs on Cape Cod.
Could you talk a little bit about these blood drives? Can you give us kind of like a typical walkthrough of what a blood drive volunteer does during the drive?
Sure. We welcome the opportunity for folks in your listening audience to come out and donate blood. Every unit of blood that's collected through Cape Cod Healthcare stays local on Cape Cod to help your friends, your family, and your loved ones at Cape Cod Hospital in Hyannis and in Falmouth. And typical blood drive is someone would come in, fill out some paperwork, meet up with one of the nurses at a health history station, have a small mini physical, if you will, check their pulse, their temperature, and their blood pressure, and answer some questions to make sure that they're eligible to donate blood. From there, they move to the donation bed, which takes about 6 to 8 minutes. Donate about a pint of blood, and after your donation, we ask that you spend about 10 or 15 minutes in our canteen and eat some snacks. And every unit that we collect is going to help up to 2 patients in need.
Top of the fourth inning here, 1 down. Ben DeLuzio coming up to the plate. He swings at the first pitch. That one goes foul and out of play. So, Jonathan, you were saying now that you go through some paperwork and find out if you're eligible to donate blood. What are some things that constitute eligibility to donate blood?
And generally, to be at least 17 years of age. 16-year-olds can donate, but they need a consent form signed by mom or dad, and you need to weigh 110 pounds in order to be eligible. And those are the basic guidelines. As long as you're feeling healthy and your doctor hasn't told you otherwise, then you may be eligible to donate blood. And
what ways will the blood used in this blood drive benefit the community?
Sure. As I mentioned, all the blood that we collect stays local to help patients at the hospitals on the Cape. And the blood is used for such things as emergency and elective surgery, for anemia, bleeding disorders, and massive blood loss due to trauma.
It's 1-2 now to DeLuzio. Grounds that one foul. So 1-2, we'll redo that one again. And Jonathan, final question. When are these drives for our audience?
Sure. We've got a series of blood drive coming up in the Hyannis area. We've got one on Wednesday the 24th at the Barnstable Police Department from 10 to 4. One Wednesday, July 22nd from noon to 6 at the Fraternal Masonic Lodge in Centerville. And then another one on July 23rd from 10 to 4 at the Hyannis Youth and Community Center.
Swing and a miss from Ben DeLuzio. 2 down now in the top of the fourth inning. That is Jonathan DeCoste from Cape Cod Healthcare. We appreciate you being here, and thank you very much for telling our audience about these blood drives.
Thank you now.
So now 2 down in the top of the fourth inning. Ben DeLuzio struck out just a moment ago, and before him, Colby Bortles grounded out to Stephen Alamaze at short. That brings up Jake Rogers in the first inning. Flew out to right field. Takes a hack there on an 0-1 count. It's 0-2 now for Matt Milburn. Looking for a second straight 1-2-3 inning. He readies out of the windup. The 0-2. That is slapped to center field, where Peterson has to make a hop and a catch. So the batters retired in order. We now head to the bottom of the fourth inning. The Kettleers still trail 2-0 here on the Cape Cod Baseball League Network.
Give the gift of life. Donating blood is an easy, quick, safe way to save a life. Blood collected at Cape Cod Healthcare blood drives stay on Cape Cod and is used to treat people here. For information on upcoming blood drives, or if your organization is interested in sponsoring a blood drive, visit capecodhealth.org or call 508-862-5278. Cape Cod Healthcare. Expert physicians, quality hospitals, superior care.
Bottom of the fourth inning here at Lowell Park. Michael King coming back for his fourth inning of work for the Hyannis Harbor Hawks. He's going to face Keenan Innes, Tim Susnera, and Gene Cohn. It's the 1-2-3 here in the lineup. Through 3 innings full, King has given up just 1 hit, and that was to Brett Stevens back in the second. First pitch Brett Stevens saw, he swung at, and a liner into shallow center for a base hit. So the offensive woes continue for the Kettleers. Keenan Innes coming up to the plate, looking to put an end to that. Keenan Innes played Game 2 of the doubleheader against YD on Sunday, went 1 for 2. Earlier today, he flew out to right field. Innes steps into the batter's box. First pitch to Innes. Swung on and fouled back. 0-1. Count now, Michael King. It's really quick in between pitches. He's back on the mound in his windup. Calls off a sign, throws the 0-1. And a breaking ball misses inside for ball 1. After Innes is the DH, Tim Susnera, the catcher out of Oregon. The 1-1. A breaking ball low and outside for strike 2 to Keenan Innes, the left fielder. One and two now to Keenan Innes. Swing and a miss. Michael King gets Keenan Innes to chase an off-speed pitch out of the zone. So first batter faced in the bottom of the fourth. He retires. That brings up Tim Susnera, who struck out in the first inning. Michael King's first pitch, and that is bunted foul. Susnera kind of waited on that and then showed bunt right at the very last second. Kind of a surprising move for the DH, but he bunted foul, so he'll go back up to the plate.
This team's struggling to hit Axel. Susnera just trying to do anything he can to reach base.
The 0-1 to Susnera doesn't swing at that breaking ball low and outside. 1-1 count now. And the 1-1 pitch swung on and fouled over to the left side and out of play by the Cotuit grandstand. That grandstand that was debuted last season. Pretty good turnout here at Lowell Park despite the weather. It is a warm day, but looks like it could rain sometime soon. So 1-2 now to Tim Susnera. Pretty humid day as well. 1-2 is a fastball high and inside. Almost hits Susnera. 2-2 now. Left-handed batter out of Oregon. 2-2. Susnera, big swing and a miss. Second straight strikeout for Michael King. That was an off-speed pitch that Tim Susnera kind of got in front of.
The beautiful changeup there. Susnera was looking for the fastball and was well out in front of it.
That is 6 straight batters retired by Michael King, and he's also struck out 3 of the last 5 batters he's faced. 3 of the last 4, actually. So now Gene Cohn up to the... Watches a off-speed pitch go by for a strike. Gene Cohn in the second inning lined out to first base. Checks his swing right there, and rightfully so. That was a breaking ball that was low and inside for ball 2. Almost in the dirt that breaking ball was. 2-1 to Gene Cohn. He's not swinging at that one. Another fastball. It's actually in for a strike. Seemed a bit kind of high and inside. Kind of to move out of the way a little bit, but home plate umpire saying that's in the zone. 2-2. Doesn't swing at that one. Michael King misses upstairs with the heater. So full count now to Gene Cohn. Payoff pitch coming up in just a second here. Here's the pitch. Gene Cohn doesn't swing at that one. He draws a walk. That was a breaking ball that missed the zone outside. Here's have a 2-out base runner reaching first base, I should say.
That one just missed the strike zone. Even Cohn was fooled by that pitch, and he wasn't sure if that was strike three or not. Kind of waited a second or two to wait and make sure that was ball four before he tossed the bat and headed down to first. But strike or not, that was still a good curveball, and Cone was badly fooled.
Cork Peterson now, the center fielder, up to the plate. He waits for the pitch. Here it is. Fastball low and inside for strike one. So with 2 outs here, you figure Gene Cone may or may not break for second. With the offensive struggle the Kettleers have been facing, they may elect not to run him. 0-1 is swung on and chopped over to first. Bortles will take that himself for the 3rd out of the inning. So we'll head now to the top of the 5th. The Kettleers still being shut out by the Hyannis Harbor Hawks. They trail 2-0 here on the Cape Cod Baseball League Network.
Celebrating over a quarter century on Cape Cod, iHealth Services is proud to be a major sponsor of Cape Cod Baseball League. Are you finding it difficult seeing the ball? Let us help you see all the game. Make an appointment at one of our 10 convenient locations on Cape Cod or the South Shore. iHealth Services, we are here for you.
Top of the 5th inning, David Martinelli leads things off, takes a fastball low 1-0, joined now by a couple of Kettleers pitchers, Nick Eichholz and Duncan Robinson. How's it going today, guys?
It's good. It's going great.
Here's the 1-0 pitch. Swing and a miss. Big swing at a breaking ball, 1-1. So how's the Cape been treating you so far?
I love it. You know, it's just as good as last summer, if not better. Great group of guys, and coaching staff's awesome still.
Yeah, you know, Cape's been awesome, best players out there, and love to compete with some of these guys.
Gilbert into the windup, the pitch, swing and a miss, a good curveball in the dirt, 1-2. So Nick, I guess for you specifically, you're back here for a second year. How does it compare mentality-wise coming in knowing what you're expecting?
I mean, you know, you're facing the best players in the country, so you have to have your A game every single night. So, you know, just coming back here, you know, knowing the same group of coaches and, you know, host family, it's been awesome. It's, you know, not nerve-wracking at all. You know, it's just like accepting. So it's awesome. I love this place.
And I guess, Duncan, your first time here,
Yep.
What did you know going in, and how is it different from what you expected?
I had a couple friends or teammates play in the Cape League. They said, you know, competition, you know, at its best every night. And they're definitely right. You know, Nick said you gotta have your A game, and if you don't have that, you'll definitely, you know, be punished by the other team. So.
Martinelli pops out for the first out here in the 5th inning. That'll bring up the 9-batter, Justin Arrington. So you guys have been pitching pretty well this year overall as a team, a sub-3 ERA. What does Coach Roberts like to work on with you guys?
Just change your speeds. That's the main thing. If you don't have a good changeup or any type of off-speed, you're going to hear it all day long until you do have one. So just change of speeds, definitely.
Yeah. Change-up's definitely the number one thing. You know, if you don't have one now, you'll have one by the time you leave. So, yeah, changing speeds, like Nick said.
What's the adjustment for you guys now facing players using wooden bats instead of metal?
You'd be more aggressive a little bit. You know, get in on the hands, maybe get a broken bat. Get away with a little more pitches. You know, they'll put a charge in one, but may not go as far, and have an out at the track.
I guess probably an easier adjustment for you guys than for hitters going that way.
Yeah, I'd probably say so.
Curveball taken down and away, 1-0 on Errol Robinson batting. 2 outs, no one on in the 5th inning. Hyannis up 2-0. So 3-game losing streak for you guys. Hitting's been, I guess, more of a problem over that time, but as a team, what's the mentality when you're struggling, and what do you look to do to stay positive?
You just got to keep it loose pretty much the whole time. This is a long summer, long games. I mean, you're going to hit, a good groove here pretty soon because, we got the players you can look out there. Just got to put it all together, pitching and hitting at the same time.
Yeah, pitching dominates in this league, is what Coach Roberts said. So, having tough at-bats is big for us, just fighting off pitches and trying to, get that one you can drive in the gap.
2-1 on Robinson. Now the pitch. Fastball taken, letter high for a strike, 2-2. How are you guys as host families? How are you liking living here?
Mine's great. I'm living with the Greens. They've been, couldn't be nicer. Always have plenty of food for me, which is great. And they've just been great.
Robinson grounds one to third. Gay fields it, long throw to first is in time, and the inning is over. Nick, what about you? Host family going well?
Oh, yeah. I'm with the Clarks, actually a different host family than last year. Just want to change it up a little bit. 3 little kids. Harry, I don't know if you see him walking around here. But I got Mr. Clark. He's the high school principal here in Barnstable. But, no, they're awesome. Always have enough food for me, so I can never complain.
Anything else you guys want to add?
Roll Tide.
Don't have a great football team. Actually, I don't want to say that because that'll hurt their feelings, but nothing like Roll Tide over here.
All right. Thanks, guys. Good luck this summer.
Thank you.
Middle of the 5th inning, 2-0 Harbor Hawks. We'll be right back on the Cape Cod Baseball League Network.
Extends beyond the classroom and is embedded in all that they do. Curry prepares students to engage in successful careers in active citizenship with a global perspective. Explore 22 undergraduate majors and over 65 minors and concentrations online at curry.edu.
2-0 Harbor Hawks, last of the 5th inning. The right-hander Michael King stays out there. He's given up just 1 hit through the first 4 innings. And he'll face 6, 7, 8, starting with the right fielder Brett Stevens. Stevens, a left-hand batter. Here's the first pitch, squares to bunt, and bunts one foul back behind home plate. 0-1. Stevens has the only hit for the Kettleers so far. A line drive into center field back in inning number 2. Only one other base runner since then for Cotuit, a Gene Cohen walk in the 4th. Here's King's 0-1. Swing and a foul back off the catcher Rogers. 0-2. Stevens, then Gay, then Alamais here in the 5th inning for Cotuit. Looking to get the bats going against the first place team. The pitch, curveball in the dirt, nicely blocked by Rogers down and to his left. 1-2. 2 runs on 3 hits for the Harbor Hawks. No runs, 1 hit, and a big error for the Kettleers. King from the full windup. Now he kicks and fires. Check swing at a pitch in the dirt. Did he go? No swing, says the third base umpire. So 2-2 on Stevens. That was very close to him going around. So 2-2 the count. Outfield shaded maybe a step or 2 towards left field. Here's King's 2-2. Check swing and a curveball. It missed outside. Full count. So 0-2 was the count. 3 straight curveballs out of the zone. And Stevens has run the count full. Looking to get on base. The 3-2. Swinging a line drive towards short, but right at Robinson, who fields it right in front of his face. 1 hard hit out here in the 5th inning.
Still a pretty good at-bat there by Stevens. He knows how to get on base. This past year had a— on base percentage, but way to fight there. Down 0-2, able to pull it to a full count. However, though he did line out, but still pretty good productive at bat there.
Spencer Gay, the batter, takes a fastball strike on the outside corner, 0-1. So frustrating as a hitter when you hit the ball well, have nothing to show for it. Here's King's 0-1, swinging a ground ball foul past third, 0-2. Gay 0-1, grounded out to short to end inning number 2. Kettleers down 2-0 in the home half of inning number 5. King shakes off Rogers. Now the righty's 0-2, swinging a high chop towards third, fielded by Arrington, sets fires to first, just in time to get Gay. 2 up, 2 down here in the 5th inning. Well, Arrington, a natural shortstop at Baylor, but playing third base here for Hyannis with Robinson at short. And he's made that transition pretty smoothly and looked good on that play over there. So 2 up, 2 down. Stefan Alames now the batter. First pitch he takes a little bit low, a fastball, 1-0. Alames, a right-hand batter, great. And now King asks for a new baseball and gets it from the umpire. 2 out, no one on in the 5th inning. Alames looking to be a spark with the power-hitting Will Haney waiting on deck. Here's the 1 bunt, pulls it back, takes the changeup down and in, 2 balls and no strikes. Arrington playing about even with the base at third. The 2-0, fastball taken downstairs, 3 balls and no strikes on Alames. Alames is shortstop from Tulane. Ahead in the count, 3-0. King deals, and he takes a fastball on the inside corner for a called strike, 3-1. King works quickly. He deals, swinging a bouncing ball through the left side, a base hit into left field. And Stefan Alames has a 2-out single in the 5th inning. And with all the Kettleers offense has struggled, Will Haney's at the plate, and as we know, Axel, he's got the ability to change the game with one swing of the bat.
Yeah, he isn't one for singles. He's either go big or go home. He'll either strike out or get an extra base hit. Already has 2 home runs in this early 7-game point here in the Cape Cod Baseball League season.
King comes set, spins, throws to first, and Alames dives in safely. Haney is an even 200 batter. He's 4 for 20. He struck out 5 times, which is not quite as often as he did at Alabama this year. Of those 4 hits, 2 homers, 2 doubles. So his extra bases are nothing so far. Alames takes his lead. He bluffs, pitches down and away. Pickoff play at first by the catcher, Rogers. And Alames got back in safely. Took about 4 or 5 steps like he was stealing, and then had to scamper back to first base. 1-0 on Haney. He's got 2 home runs on this summer. One of them a game winner on opening night. King set. Here's the 1-0. Swinging a foul in the box. Got it right off his back foot. And Haney looks to be in a bit of pain. Just walking it off around home plate. So Rogers will walk out a new baseball to King. Give his catching counterpart a bit of a break over at home plate.
That's not the first time we've seen that these last couple days. A couple days ago against YD, Haney fouled one off his foot and seemed to be in as well.
So 1-1 on Haney, who's batting right-handed against the righty King. He's been working on his left-handed swing. He hit there a couple of times on Saturday against Chatham, had a double in 2 at-bats. Here's the 1-1, swing and a miss, a good curveball from King, and it's 1-2.
That was a big hack there by Will Haney. You can tell he wanted to launch that one into the trees out there in left field.
Instead came up empty, and now finds himself in a 1-2 hole. Outfield straight away against the big right-hand batter. King set, the 1-2, swing and a miss, strike 3. Got him with a changeup off the inside corner, and that ends the inning. No runs, 1 hit, no errors, and 1 man left. At the end of 5, it's the Harbor Hawks 2 and the Kettleers nothing on the Cape Cod Baseball League Network.
Celebrate history and build for the future, brick by brick. That's the slogan for the Cotuit Kettleers engraved brick fundraiser. The bricks we engrave for you will replace the blank bricks in the plaza area behind home plate. Cheer on the Kettleers, honor that special someone, celebrate a life event, or recognize your business. These are only a few examples of what you might want on your engraved brick. To get started, visit the Kettleers website at www.kettleers.org or stop by the tables under the red tents at all Kettleer home games.
Top of the 6th inning here at Lowell Park, Cotuit Kettleers trail the Hyannis Harbor Hawks 2-0. And despite 4 straight 1-2-3 innings for pitcher Matt Milburn, the Kettleers trail. The bats have been cold for yet another night. Austin Hayes coming up to the plate shortly for Hyannis. Flew out to right field twice today. Clouds starting to dissipate a bit here at Lowell Park. It's 6:03 here. Sun coming out just a little bit. Quite a nice day. Bit cooler than we've experienced the last few days, save for yesterday, a pretty cold, damp, and rainy day. So through 5 full, there's been no weather issues to speak of. So leading off this inning is Austin Hayes. Flew out to right field in the 1st and 3rd innings. He's going to lead off the top of the 6th for the Harbor Hawks. Matt Milburn, going for his 5th straight 1-2-3 inning, has retired. The last 12 batters he's faced in order. First pitch to Hayes is a ball low and away. The 1-0 to Hayes, does not swing at that one. That's a breaking ball low and outside for strike 2. Just clips the outside corner there. Milburn out of the windup, shakes off a sign, except 1 to Hayes. Hits that one into left center for a base hit. Nice piece of hitting there by Austin Hayes. Swung on and found the gap there in left center between Keenan Innes and Court Peterson. So leadoff hitter is on base for the Hyannis Harbor Hawks as they look to score more runs and pad this lead. Second baseman Javon Shelby cleaning off the batter's box with his and steps back in. He's 1 for 2 today. Had a base hit in the 1st inning and grounded out in the 3rd. Also has a run scored. That was off an error by Stephen Alamace over at shortstop. Pickoff attempt to first is not in time, so Matt Milburn readies back up. He's working out of the set now. Leaning forward, peering in for his sign. Moving the ball around his right hand behind his back. Squares back up. Pickoff attempt to first, not in time. Austin Hayes able to get back without much of a problem there. Did have to slide, but he only had maybe about 1 or 2 steps of a leadoff there. Gene Cohen is holding him at first. Spencer Gay is playing a bit in at 3rd. First pitch to Shelby is a off-speed pitch in for a strike that clipped the zone outside and away. 0-1 now to Shelby, who may be a bunt risk here as Spencer Gay plays even with 3rd base, maybe even a couple steps in, almost in the infield grass. The 0-1 is a curveball that misses the zone for ball 1. Pulled Will Haney off a little bit there behind home plate. Kind of had to shade to his right there to keep the ball from passing him. Matt Milburn working out of the set. 1-1 pickoff attempt is not in time. That's the 3rd time he's gone over there to first base trying to catch Austin Hayes sleeping. So still just 1-1 to the second baseman, Javon Shelby. Milburn peers for his signs. The 1-1 throw. Austin Hayes is throwing now. He's going to be caught in a rundown. He's heading back to first. Throw over to Gene Cohn. Throw over to Alamace. Just a big confusing sequence of events as he is tagged out. So Austin Hayes caught stealing. Did not have a great jump there. Will Haney was able to hit Paez there at second really quickly, and pretty much the second Will Haney threw that, Austin Hayes knew he was in trouble. He started braking for first, but was not able to get out of that rundown unscathed, so he's tagged out. No one's now on base for Javon Shelby. There was a runner there at first. 2-1 now to Shelby. Milburn working back out of the windup. He swings at the first pitch. A little chopper back to Milburn. Throw over to first for the out. 2 down now for the Kettleers in the top of the 6th. 1-3 put out there. Shelby just kind of chopped one that almost went over the head of Matt Milburn. He was able to jump and grab it and have a nice little slight toss over to Gene Cohn at first. Jake Knoll is the next batter, wears number 8. He's DHing tonight. Batting out of the righties box. First pitch to Knoll, swung on and fouled by the right side bleachers. Jake Knoll is 1 for 2 today. Had a single in the first, also flew out to Cork Peterson in center in the third inning. The 0-1 swung on and broken bat. He hits that to left there. It does. Jake Knoll with a double. Good piece of hitting by Jake Knoll, and the bat kind of chipped off there at the head. Hit a slicing line drive into left that stayed fair out of Keenan Innes' range. So now a runner now in scoring position for Colby Bortles. Reached base in the first inning off an error by Stefan Alames. He grounded out in the fourth. He has a runner in scoring position now. Matt Milburn working back out of the set. Peers in for his sign, leaned over pretty far. Straightens his back out, looks over at second, looks back to first. The pitch swung on and looped into left center. And a great catch by Keenan Innes out there. Had to dive for that one in shallow left. And the Cotuit Kettleers head to the bottom of the 6th inning, holding on to that no-run score. 2 batters hit, no errors, and 1 runner left on base. You're listening to Cotuit Kettleers Baseball here on the Cape Cod Baseball League Network.
Get a unique insider's view of the most prestigious amateur baseball league in the nation through the Cape Cod Baseball League's official social media accounts. Follow, like, and retweet the news on Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram. The latest scores, transactions, and year-round updates of present, past, and future CCBL players. Hashtag CCBL takes you straight to the hot topics.
Bottom of the 6th inning here at Lowell Park. Cotuit Kettleers trail the Hyannis Harborhawks 2-0. New pitchers on the mound for the Hyannis Harborhawks. Number 17, Aaron Civali. He replaces Michael King, who pitched 5 full, gave up just 2 hits, walked 1 batter, and struck out 5. So 5 good frames out of the Harborhawks starter. Leading off things here in the bottom of the 6th is Michael Paez. He's 0 for 2 today, grounded out in the first, and flew out to center in the third. Struggling a bit today at the plate. Had a pretty good day in that doubleheader against YD. Went 3 for 4 in both games combined. Savale's first pitch to Paez is swung on and sliced foul. Sliced fair, actually, out there in left field. That one was hugging the foul line and stayed on the right side. So a leadoff double for Michael Paez. And runners now in scoring position for the Kettleers, trailing 2-0 in the bottom of the 6th. Well, he swung at the first pitch there, was expecting a fastball, and he was right. Fastball inside, he was able to drive that into left. Just stayed fair. That brings up now Keenan Innes, who ended the top of the 6th with an incredible diving catch in left center. He's 0 for 2 on the day, flew out to right field in the first inning, and in the fourth, Michael Paez is on second. Keenan Innes at the plate now. First pitch to Innes. He feigns a bunt. The fastball is outside the zone for ball 1. Just a bit below the knees there. He pulled back out of his foul stance in time to take that ball. He readies up with the 1-0. Savali looks over at Paez at second. Paez has got a good leadoff. Throws over to second for the flip. Paez is safe. And Robinson is not too happy there at short. He's going to the second umpire. And now the Hyannis manager is going out to speak to the umpire as well. It looked from this vantage point that Michael Paez was out by a mile. He had a there at second, maybe about 4 or 5 steps. And Savali turned around and hit Robinson right in the numbers at second. And the Harbor Hawks about this one. Paez is called safe at second. Now some discussion, some lively discussion going on there at second base. The Hyannis Harbor Hawks manager is getting pretty testy there. He's in the face of the home plate, or the second base umpire. Now the home plate umpire is walking over to them. Maybe to try to ease this. His unhappiness does not seem to be the case. And the manager is thrown out. He is absolutely livid. He's in the face of the second base umpire who just threw him out. He needs to be restrained by the 2 other umpires at third and at home. Visibly upset after that call does not go the Harbor Hawks' way. So now Keenan Innes steps out of the batter's box and is talking things over with Tim Cisnera and Coach Brian Scott. What a very strange sequence of events there. Last summer here in the Cape, I think I only saw a manager be ejected from a game maybe 2 or 3 times. Already now in the 8th game of this season, I've seen 1. He is still very upset there, yelling over at the second umpire. Well, quite the interesting delay of game here at Lowell Park. And eventually we'll get back to baseball. The away side bleachers clapping for the... That was quite the entertaining bit right there, but he's still clearly, visibly upset. Oh, well. So, baseball still happening here at Lowell Park. We'll resume in just a moment. Keenan Innes now kind of had quite the wait there at home plate. Got to figure that this will play some impact in this at-bat here. He had to wait so long. Michael Paez still is at second, don't forget, folks. Kettleers do have a runner in scoring position. That was Chad Gassman there, the manager, who was thrown out. Now baseball will resume. Aaron Savale back on the mound, working out of the set. Right-handed pitcher. Peers in for his sign, looks down. First pitch to Hyannis. He feigns a bunt. That is ball 2 now. That was a fastball that missed low and outside. So Chad Gassman, Hyannis Harbor Hawks head coach, is tossed here in the bottom of the 6th inning. Very unhappy with the call over at second. Thought that Michael Pies was tagged out in that pickoff attempt. The 2-0 to Hyannis. It's a fastball inside and low for ball 3. So despite that long layoff there, Hyannis is unfazed and has Savale on the ropes. Savale is likely going to look for a fastball somewhere in the zone. Hyannis might have a nice fat one down the middle of the plate. First pitch to Hyannis is a strike. That was a risky pitch right there. That was a fastball that was high and inside. But it was ruled a strike. So 3-1 to Keenan Hyannis. Runner on second. That's Michael Paez. Bottom of the 6th inning, no outs. Cotuit trailing 2-0. 3-1 to Hyannis. He swings on and hits over to the left side. Arrington, the third baseman, going over for it, but that one goes foul out of play. Full count now, 3-2. As you can hear, some murmurs here and lively discussion by the Cotuit and Hyannis fans. That was quite the interesting sequence of events there, with head coach Chad Gassman getting thrown out. Savale looks over. 3-2 to Hyannis. Doesn't swing at that one, and he draws a walk. That was a breaking ball that missed low and inside. Runners now on first and second. And Tim Cisnera coming up to the plate. He represents the go-ahead run for the Kettleers. He's 0 for 2 today with 2 strikeouts. And now the infield collapses onto Aaron Savale. It's very possible he will be pulled from this game, as another Hyannis coach is up to the mound to talk things over with the righty. He's faced 2 batters. He's been unable to retire either of them. Gave up a double to Michael Paez and just walked Keenan Hyannis. A 3-2 full count walk. They decide to... Everyone returns to their infield. The center fielders, or the outfielders, converged into center. They're walking back to their spots as well. Shortstop Robinson and second baseman Shelby playing not exactly double play depth just yet. Arrington, though, is playing even with the bag, expecting a bunt. First baseman Bortles is not holding Hyannis at first, so they really are expecting a bunt here. And he lays one down, but pulls back in time. It's 1-0. That was a fastball low and inside. So the Harbor Hawks betting here that Tim Cisnera will lay down a bunt to try to move over the runners at second and first. The middle infielder is not playing at double field depth, so if Cisnera is able to ground up the middle of the infield, he'd have a base hit easily. Savale readies. Looks over at second. 1-0 to Cisnera. He lays down the bunt. It dribbles foul. 1-1. So the momentum kind of shifting in the Kettleers' direction after that leadoff double by Michael Paez and that walk to Keenan Hyannis. After a long delay in game, after Chad Gassman, the Hyannis head coach, came out to talk things over with the umpires, that resulted in him being tossed. Now they have runners on first and second for Tim Cisnera, the catcher, playing DH today. 1-1 count to Cisnera. He's in the box. He readies, and he is showing he's going to bunt. There's nothing he's not going to do about that. He swings at it, chops it in the infield. That's Robinson who grabs it for one and runs over to second for the double play. The unassisted double play by the shortstop Robinson. Cisnera popped field. He was able to go over and run over for that one. So Pius is so 2 down now in this bottom of the 6th. That brings up Gene Cohn, who's 0 for 1, lined out to first in the 2nd and walked in the 4th. So the batter at second, Michael Pius, is erased. That leaves just Keenan Innes on at first. Zavali steps off, kicks some dirt around there on the mound, sets back in. Gene Cohn takes a couple practice hacks. He's a lefty. The pitch is a curveball, nice curveball that started high in the middle of the strike zone for strike 1. 79 mile an hour right there. Had nice break on it. Gets ahead of Gene Cohn quickly, 0-1. Time is called again. And Aaron Savale walks off the mound and steps back on. The 0-1 to Cohn, swung on over to Shelby at second, force out at second. And that ends the inning. Very interesting bottom of the 6th inning, but the Kettleers unable to score a run. We head to the top of the 7th. Kettleers trail 2-0 here on the Cape Cod Baseball League Network.
The Kettleers and Cotuit Athletic Association welcome Spencer Hallett Plumbing and Heating as a premium sponsor and member of the exclusive Kettleers Club in 2015. This family-owned business has been providing heating and plumbing services to businesses and homeowners on Cape Cod for over 100 years. It's what you'd call local, as Spencer is a 4th-generation member of the business and 12th-generation Cape Codder. If you're looking for quality plumbing and heating work, call Spencer Hallett at 508-428-6080 or visit their website at hallettplumbing.com.
Matt Milburn back out for his 7th inning of work for the Cotuit Kettleers. The Kettleers trail 2-0 to Hyannis here at home. We head now to the top of the 7th. Very interesting bottom of the 6th as Hyannis head coach Chad Gassman is tossed from this game after disagreeing with a call. Over in the infield there was Michael Pius seemed to be caught stealing but was ruled safe on the pickoff attempt, but Chad Gassman very unhappy. The first pitch to Ben DeLuzio is a breaking ball for ball 1. So far today, Matt Milburn has pitched pretty well. Had that first inning that wasn't so great, been pretty good since. Big swing and a miss. At one point, he had 4 straight 1-2-3 innings. Retired 12 straight batters at that point. He has a 1-1 on Ben DeLuzio. The pitch is a off-speed pitch low and inside for ball 2. Ben DeLuzio is 1 for 2 today, has an RBI. Hit a single in the first. That drove in Colby Bortles. He swings at that one and it goes foul to the left side. Had a base hit in the first that drove in Colby Bortles from third. And then he struck out in the 4th. He steps back into the batter's box. He's a right-handed batter. Milburn, a righty pitcher, 2-2. Grounds over to Alamaze, who can't make the play. That one dribbles into left center. We'll wait and see how that is scored, but yet another ground ball just kind of gets past Stephen Alamaze at short.
He has not looked like his normal self today over at short. Usually makes every play look so easy, and tonight he just hasn't had it.
And that one is ruled an error, so that is 2 errors now today on Stephen Alamaze, who to this point has been very, very good defensively as Coach Brian Scott and the rest of the infield collapses onto the pitcher's mound. To talk things over with Matt Milburn, his day may be over, and he hands the ball over, and it indeed is seemingly going to be over. As someone is coming out of the bullpen, that seems to be Bernardo Flores. We'll confirm that with you in just a second, but Matt Milburn's day is over. He pitched 6 innings, gave up 5 hits. And we'll see how this runner at first plays out, but the first batter he faced in the top of the 7th, Bendaluzio, reaches on an error. So as Bernardo Flores warms up, we'll go to commercial break. You are listening to the Kettleers here on the Cape Cod Baseball League Network. Bernardo Flores in for relief of Matt Milburn, who wins 6 innings. Runner is on first. That's Bendaluzio, who reached on an error. First pitch to Rogers. He lifts that to center field for an out. Court Peterson squeezing it under his glove there for the first out of the. That brings up the left fielder, David Martinelli, who's 0 for 2 today. Rounded out in the 2nd, and in the 5th inning, he popped out to left fielder Keenan Innes. Bernardo Flores, the lefty from USC, stands at 6'4", 185 pounds against Chatham. On the 13th, he pitched 2 innings, gave up 2 hits, 1 earned run, and struck out 3. First pitch to Martinelli. He checks his swing. That's a fastball that is in for a strike. Now Will Haney going out to talk things over with Bernardo Flores really quickly. Says just a couple words to him and now runs back out.
Looked like that backswing hit Haney on the glove, kind of shaking off his left hand a little bit. Wanted to run that ball out to Flores just to give himself an extra few seconds to shake it off.
Martinelli, left-handed batter, facing the left-handed pitcher Bernardo Flores. Throw over to first. Luzio is in time. So another pickoff attempt. We saw there in the bottom of the 6th, a pretty controversial pickoff that seemed to get Michael Paez, was ruled safe, and Insanity ensued. 0-1. DeLuzio's running. Throw over to second is in center field. So DeLuzio takes second. Now he's running for third. Throw in from third. Not in time. DeLuzio is safe. Will Haney threw to the middle infield, and Stefan Alamace nor Mike Paez were able to really grab onto that one. So that's another error for Cotuit. That's the third of the day. We'll wait to see who that is credited to. Figure maybe to one of the infielders. But perhaps Haney, who on his throw really wasn't reaching anybody there.
Alamace just didn't get there in time. Plain and simple, that's his cover play with the left-hand batter up. And he was nowhere near the baseball.
The error is credited to Haney, though one can argue that Alamace kind of dropped the ball there. I guess maybe literally. Though not just quite. 1-1 to Martinelli. That's a nice curveball. 66 miles an hour. Just missed. Low and outside. Bernardo Flores has a heater that approaches 94, 95, and then he has a curveball that is in the mid-60s. 2-1 now to Martinelli. Runner is on third. That's Ben DeLuzio, the center fielder. 2-1. Swung on and fouled back to the fence behind home plate. And see now, if you're Cotuit, these errors are really, really hurting you. Ben DeLuzio reached first on an error, and he was able to move over to third on an error.
And the two, I mean, not his fault, made a good throw to second. Just Alamace didn't get over to cover in time.
Flores, the 2-2. Here's the pitch to Martinelli. He grounds that right to Flores. He has DeLuzio kind of in the rundown over at third. Toss over to third. Does he get him in time? He does. And Martinelli is safe at second, so Flores had a choice there. Either go for the force out at first or try to get Ben DeLuzio out there along the base paths between third and home. He opts to try to get Ben DeLuzio out and is successful, but Martinelli reaches second base, so in scoring position for the Hyannis Harbor Hawks.
Well, good job by Flores to see that the lead runner DeLuzio third, and definitely the runner that you want to go for. And I mean, if you're the Kettleers, would you have loved to keep the runner Martinelli on first, him at second too, but at least a good trade-off. You get the out, and instead of a runner on third, it's a man on second.
So it is Justin Arrington now coming up to the plate. He's the 9-hitter. Flores looks over to center and then back home. 91-mile-an-hour heater catches to the outside corner for strike one. Runner on second, that is Dave Martinelli. He got to first on a fielder's choice. Bernardo Flores opting to get the runner on third out instead. May prove to be the right decision. 0-1. And that is laid bunt. Flores has it in front of him in home plate, and then first, for the third out of this inning. We head now to the bottom of the seventh. The Cotuit Kettleers trailing the Hyannis Harbor Hawks 2-0. You're listening to Cotuit Kettleers Baseball here on the Cape Cod Baseball League Network.
Celebrate history and build for the future, brick by brick. That's the slogan for the Cotuit Kettleers Engraved Brick Fundraiser. The bricks we engrave for you will replace the blank bricks in the plaza plate. Cheer on the Kettleers, honor that special someone, celebrate a life event, or recognize your business. These are only a few examples of what you might want on your engraved brick. To get started, visit the Kettleers website at www.kettleers.org or stop by the tables under the red tents at all Kettleer home games.
5, 6, 7 hitters coming out for Cotuit. Leading things off will be Court Peterson, the center fielder. He's 0 for 2 today. Grounded out in the second. And then an unassisted play over at first in the fourth got him out. He was the last out of the fourth inning. Looking to get his first hit as a Kettleer. He's still facing Aaron Savale, coming out for his second inning of work here in the bottom of the second. First pitch to Peterson is a off-speed pitch, high and inside for strike one. After Court Peterson is his UCLA teammate Brett Stevens. 0-1 to Court. Doesn't swing at that off-speed pitch. That is a ball. 1-1 now. Brett Stevens, also a UCLA Bruin. Wilson swung on and grounded over to the second baseman, Shelby. Throw over to Bortles in time for the out. One batter faced in the top or the bottom of the seventh. One batter retired. That brings up Brett Stevens. He already has a hit today. Had a line drive into center in the second. Was the first Kettleer hit of the day. Just one of three that the Kettleers have been able to muster up today. And in the fifth, he lined out to the shortstop. So he's 1 for 2. First pitch. Stevens fastball, 91 miles an hour inside for strike one. In the on-deck circle is Spencer Gay. He's 0 for 2 today. The 0-1 to Stevens. Fastball high and misses the zone for ball one. 1-1 is the count to the lefty hitting outfielder. Throws righty though. 1-1 is a fastball high and inside for ball two. That almost hit Stevens, it looked like, but he seemed to be a bit unfazed there. Didn't really back off or nothing. Brett Stevens, UCLA product. His father Mike played football at Cal Berkeley. 2-1 to Stevens. Fastball that misses the zone low and outside. 3-1 is now the count. So with 3-1 count, if you're Aaron Savale, the Hyannis pitcher, you really need to throw a strike here. Perhaps look for Brett Stevens to swing on this 3-1, and he does. Takes a big hack at that one and misses. Full count now against Stevens. Steps out of the batter's box. Takes one little practice swing and has the bat over his left shoulder again. The payoff pitch to Stevens. He grounds that one to Bortles, who grabs it. Takes it himself and barely reaches the base before Stevens is able to. 2 down now in the bottom of the seventh. That brings up Spencer Gay. 0 for 2 today.
Some miscommunication on that last play. Bortles thought that Savali was going to get there to cover, but he didn't in time, and Bortles last second had to beat Gay to the bag.
First pitch to Gay. Breaking ball that locks him up at the knees. That's a strike. That was a nice looking curveball there. 81 miles an hour. Hit the bottom of the zone. Savale's second pitch is an off-speed pitch that misses for ball one. Savale working out of the windup. He fires. Bit upstairs for ball two. 89 mile an hour fastball. He's been hovering around that 88 to 91 mile an hour there on the radar gun with his fastball. Gay doesn't move out of the batter's box between pitches. The 2-1 swings and gets by Arrington there at third. We'll wait and see. Perhaps that is a base hit, and it is a base hit for Spencer Gay. Hit a sharp little liner there over at third between shortstop Robinson and the third baseman Arrington. Seemed from this vantage point that Arrington kind of had it in his glove, or maybe got caught, but nevertheless a base hit for Spencer Gay, and a runner is on board here. A runner's on base here for the Kettleers with 2 outs in the bottom of the seventh. That brings up Stefan Almes. Had a couple costly errors so far today out there at short. Pretty uncharacteristic of him. He's usually a very, very good shortstop. Had a couple lackadaisical plays. That kind of cost the Kettleers today. He's 1 for 2. Swings at the first pitch, and that's a base hit into left center. So Stefan Alames with his second hit of the day. Just loops one there into left center just past the infield. Spencer Gay moves over to second. Alames on first, and that brings up Will Haney, who today is 0 for 2 with 2 strikeouts. We talk a lot about him being an all-or-nothing type of player. He'd love to be all just now. And pinch running now for Stefan Alames is Brody Weiss. Usually plays second base. Today is not in the starting lineup. He's going to pinch run. As the infield collapses onto the pitcher's mound surrounding Aaron Savale. His day may be over. They're looking out into the bullpen. Someone is coming out to make the run. We will get you that in just a moment, but Aaron Savale's day is over. We'll have his final line coming up after this commercial break. You are listening to Cotuit Kettleers Baseball here on the Cape Cod Baseball League Network. Bottom of the Lowell Park, 2 outs in the bottom of the 7th, and a pitching change. Aaron Savale pitched 1 2/3 innings of relief of Michael King, who pitched 5. Now coming into the game for the Hyannis Harbor Hawks is number 13, Will Stillman. Will Stillman, he stands at 6'4", 180 pounds.
And a big spot here, too. Will Haney coming up for the Kettleers. He's the go-ahead run. And, you know, he doesn't put a charge into one all too often. He only has 4 hits so far, but when he does, he tends to hit it far. 2 home runs and 2 doubles. One of those home runs a game winner last week.
Well, the Kettleers could really use an extra base hit from Will Haney coming up. Will Stillman working out of the set. He goes to Wofford. Teammates with today's Kettleer starter, Matt Milburn, and also former Kettleer Luke Leftwich. First pitch to Will Haney. Does not swing at that one. That's a nice breaking ball that just misses the zone low. 1-0 now to Haney. Runner on second is Spencer Gay, and the runner at first is Brody Weiss, who is pinch running for Stefan Alames. Big spot here for the catcher out of Alabama, Will Haney. 1-0 to Haney. A breaking ball that's in for a strike. Does not swing at that one. Watches that one go by. Started kind of high and ended at the knees. 1-1 count to Will Haney. Stillman has played in 1 game so far this season, pitched 1 inning. Struck out 1. Was credited with a save. Runners on first and second. 1-1 pitch to Will Haney. Big swing and a miss. He took a pretty big cut at that one. A little bit ahead of that one. That was a 92-mile-an-hour fastball. So Stillman coming out with some heat. Will Haney, as you mentioned, Dan, is the go-ahead run. Of course, that means nothing if he cannot advance these runners and get on base himself. 1 and 2 is way outside. That pulls Rogers off the bag. 2 and 2 now. Looked like he maybe wanted to throw over to first and catch Brody Weiss sleeping, but he decides not to. And with 2 outs here in this inning, no reason for first baseman Bortles to hold the bag at first. Weiss with a healthy leadoff there. No one's there to really pick him off. 2-2 to Will Haney. He swings at and kind of falls through the gap in right side of the infield. And coming to score is Spencer Gay. So the Kettleers now down just 2-1 with runners on the corners. That was a slow dribbler that Will Haney hit. It seemed that Bortles and Shelby couldn't decide who was going to get to that ball first. And because of that, I guess, hesitation, Spencer Gay was able to score from second.
Well, the first 4 hits that Haney had this year were all rockets. 2 home runs, 2 doubles, and then a little skew to the right side that somehow snuck through. It wasn't pretty, but you know what? I'm sure he'll take it.
Now Michael Paez coming back up to the plate, had a double to lead things off in the 6th. It's now the bottom of the 7th. He is 1 for 3. Runners on the corners could tie the game up with 1 swing of the bat here. That's a fastball almost in the dirt, low and inside for ball 1. So the plot beginning to thicken here at Lowell Park. Cotuit now has 6 hits, 3 errors. Has only been able to score 1 run off of those 6 hits. However, Will Haney drove in one just a second ago. Big swing and a miss from Michael Paez. Chased a fastball high and outside the zone. 1-1 now to the second baseman out of Coastal Carolina.
That was a home run swing right there from Paez. Took a big swing and came up empty on a fastball that he probably chased out of the zone.
1-1 pitch to Paez. He takes another big hack at it. 1-2 now is the count. A couple miles an hour difference right there. That first pitch that he swung on and missed was 91 from Stillman. This one he just tossed was 89. Another one high in the zone. So Michael Paez 1-2. The pitch, big swing and a miss. Will Stillman able to get out of a jam, but the Kettleers do get a run back here. We now head to the top of the 8th inning. The Cotuit Kettleers trail the Hyannis Harbor Hawks 2-1. You are listening to Cotuit Kettleers Baseball League Network.
Two to one Hyannis on top. We go to the 8th inning here at Lowell Park. 2 runs, 5 hits, no errors for the Harbor Hawks. 1 run, 6 hits, and 3 errors for the Kettleers. Bernardo Flores begins his work. And the left-hander will face the top of the order for the Harbor Hawks. Errol Robinson, Austin Hayes, and Javon Shelby. 3 right-hand batters. Robinson leads things off. Gay plays in at third, and Flores from the full windup Deals a first pitch that's lined inside the first base bag and down the right field line for a base hit. Stevens plays it in. The throw to second on a fly is not in time. Robinson dives in with a head-first double, leading off the 8th inning. And that was not the start to this inning that Flores and the Kettleers were looking for. Cotuit was down since the first inning, got a run back in the 7th. And now Hyannis threatening right off the bat here in the 8th. First hit of the day for Robinson, 6th overall for Hyannis. And now that'll bring up the right fielder, Austin Hayes, who's 1 for 3. Corners pinch in. We'll see if Hayes is bunting with Robinson on second, no one out in the 8th inning. Flores set, looks to second. And the first pitch, Hayes squares, gets the bunt down third base side. Haney has it behind the plate and has no play at first. Hayes beats it out for a single. And now the runners on the corners with nobody out. And trouble here in the 8th inning. Well, a beautiful bunt there from Hayes. He squared late, dropped it down beautifully. Haney called off Gay for the ball, and by the time he spun around to look to first, had no play. Big time trouble for Flores. Robinson on third, Hayes on first, nobody out. Javon Shelby coming up. The corners will play up. At least Gay at third does. Cohen holding on the runner at first. Middle infield plays back, hoping to turn 2. Paya's at short. He moved over after Alames left the game. And Brody Weiss, who pinch ran for him, is now at second. Shelby 1 for 3 with a single and a run scored. Flores set. First pitch. The second could be 2, and it goes right under the glove of Weiss and into center field. Going to third is Hayes. Stopping at first after taking a wide turn is Shelby, and it's 3-1 Hyannis. Another error by the Kettleers infield. Well, that ball took a tough hop. And they're actually going to give him a base hit. So not an error on Weiss, a single and an RBI for Shelby. Runners still on the corner, still nobody out. A 3-1 game now. And trouble still brewing. Jake Knoll, the batter. Well, that was a high chopper. And just as it's about to get to Weiss, didn't take a hop and skipped right under his glove. Throw to first, diving back in, not in time. Wow. Shelby was almost picked off. Cohn thought he got him. That was a very close play. Almost a big first out. Instead, Shelby on first. Hayes is on third. 3-1 Hyannis, a run in the 8th inning. 3 singles, 3 hits, a double and 2 singles to start off this inning for Hyannis. Middle infield back, corners in. First pitch, in for a called strike on the outside corner, 0-1 on Knoll. Knoll is 2 for 3. He singled, doubled, stolen a base, and scored a run. One big hit could blow this game wide open here in the 8th. Flores to the high set, throw to first. Shelby back with a head-first dive. This time, no tag made by Cohn. Shelby a little more careful after he was almost picked off on that last pickoff attempt. Outfield straightaway against the number 4 batter. Knoll looks to pad this Hyannis lead. Right now it's with men on the corners and nobody out. Flores set. The 0-1. Swinging a ground ball to the right side. Diving stop by Weiss. Gets up, throws to first, and he got him. Beautiful play by Brody Weiss to take away a base hit from Knoll. A run does score. Hayes comes in. Shelby to second. And it's 4-1 Hyannis. But as rough as this inning has been to start for Cotuit, if Weiss didn't make that play, it could have been a heck of a lot worse. If that ball gets by him, Shelby probably goes to third, and we're probably still looking at man on the corners, nobody out. Instead, a man on second with 1 out, and that's going to be all for Bernardo Flores. He leaves with 1 out in the 8th inning, 2 runs home, and a man on second. Harbor Hawks leading 4-1 here on the Cape Cod Baseball. Kyle Becker on the pitch for the Kettleers, down 4-1 here in the 8th inning. He inherits a man on second. That's Davon Shelby with a man out. And Colby Bortles, the first batter that he faces. 2 runs in this inning for Hyannis on 3 hits. All of those came against Bernardo Flores. He's given up 2 runs so far, and Shelby on second belongs to him as well. Becker, the right-hander, working from the stretch against the big right-hand batting Bortles. Comes to the high set, looks to second, and the first pitch, fastball missed up and in, 1-0. 92 miles an hour, bit of a buzz there for Bortles. Bortles 0 for 3 and reached in the first inning on an error. Has been retired both times since then. 4-1 Hyannis in the 8th inning. Becker set. Looks to second. Looks again. And now fires home. Swing and a miss. Threw a fastball up in the zone right by him at 94 miles an hour. The count now 1-1. Well, Becker can certainly throw it by you. The problem for him this year has been location and off-speed pitches. In fact, these two have seen each other before this summer. Bortles homered off Becker last week. Here's the 1-1 pitch. Swinging a high fly ball to center field. That one's deep. Peterson back near the wall, and that one is off the fence. Shelby got a late start. He'll be waved around third. The third of the plate by Paez is not in time. Shelby scores on an RBI bomb of a double by Colby Bortles, and it's 5-1 Hyannis. And Bortles did not miss another home run off of Becker by a whole lot. That was a bomb right to the 397 sign in dead center field. So that closes the book on Flores, an inning in the third. Gives up 3 runs, all of them earned, on 3 hits. This inning started, it was 2-1 Hyannis. It's now 5-1, and the Harbor Hawks still looking for more. Ben DeLuzio now the batter. Righties 1 for 3. Becker set, fires home. A fastball on the inside corner for a called strike, 0-1. 4 hits, 2 doubles, 2 singles have put the Harbor Hawks up by 4. Just when it looked like Cotuit was starting to make this a game in the 7th inning, Hyannis has a big answer. Becker set, Bortles leads off second. The 0-1. Fastball a little bit down. 1 ball, 1 strike on DeLuzio. Outfield straight away against DeLuzio. He singled in a run in the first inning. Struck out in the 4th, reached base in the 7th inning on an error. Brody Weiss keeping Bortles close at second. Bortles takes his lead. Now the pitch. Swing and a dribbler foul by the Kettleers dugout. 1-2 on DeLuzio. Jake Rogers waiting on deck here in the 8th inning for Hyannis. Bortles on second. Just hit a booming double off the wall in dead center. That brought home the 3rd run this inning. It's 5-1 Hyannis, looking to improve to 2-0 against Cotuit on the season and improve their 3-game lead for first place in the Western Division. Hyannis 6-1 coming into this game. And the Harbor Hawks lead Cotuit, Wareham, and Falmouth, who are all 3 and 4 tied for second. 1-2 on DeLuzio. Becker set. The 1-2 pitch. Swing and a miss, strike 3. Got him with a good slider that tailed out of the zone. And there's out number 2. Out for Cal Becker. So Bortles still on second, 2 men away. And the catcher Jake Rogers now coming up. Rogers also got to face Becker last week. He also, like Bortles, hit a home run off of him. In fact, Rogers was the last batter that Becker faced in last week's start. He gave up 3 runs, including a pair of homers. Right-hand batter. Becker set. First pitch. In the dirt. Nicely blocked by Haney. A breaking ball. 1-0. And Haney lost his glove on that one as well. Looked to be a little bit crossed up with Becker. Now the two of them will converse in front of the pitcher's mound. Bortles the runner on second with 2 down in the 8th inning. 5-1 Hyannis on top. 2 runs in the first, 3 in the 8th for the Harbor Hawks. The Kettleers' lone run came in the 7th. 1-0 on Rogers. Martinelli waiting on deck. Becker set. Bortles leads off second. Takes a big lead. The 1-0. Fastball. Side corner. 2 balls and no strikes. Bortles has a pretty big lead at second after every pitch. That secondary lead, he's probably 30 or 40 feet on his way towards third. Maybe a chance for Haney to try and throw behind him. 2-0 on Rogers. He was 0 for 3 today. The pitch, fastball, in for a called strike at the knees. 2 balls and 1 strike on Rogers. A big hole in the right side of that infield with Brody Weiss, the second baseman, trying to keep Bortles close. Gene Cohen playing back and off the line at first. There's still a lot of space there. Becker set. The 2-1 pitch. Curveball missed somewhere. Might have curved up a little bit upstairs. The count 3-1. Haney tried to frame that one for his pitcher, but didn't get the call from the home plate umpire. So 3-1 on Rogers. 2 down in the 8th inning. 5-1 Hyannis. Sun starting to peek through the clouds for the first time this afternoon, just a little bit. Becker set. The pitch. Breaking ball taken at the knees for a called strike. It's 3-2. Well, the curveball has been more effective for Becker today than it was last week against Hyannis. I don't know if he threw a single one in that start. Mixed in a few changeups. But other than that, all fastballs when Hyannis hit him hard in 2+ innings. Rogers had one of those big hits, a home run. 3-2 now the count. And time called at home plate. Becker peers in for the sign. Bortles takes his lead off of second in the 8th inning. Becker set. Here's the payoff pitch. Swinging a line drive, caught by Paez at second, reaching out into his left, and the inning is over. But Hyannis scores 3 times. There were 4 hits, no errors, 1 man left. Middle of the 8th inning at Lowell Park. It's the Harbor Hawks 5 and the Kettleers 1 on the Cape Cod Baseball League Network.
Like this.
The sun comes out. We had the last of the 8th inning here at Lowell Park. For the first time today we've got sun. And now the Kettleers hope for some hits down 5-1. Will Stillman's first full inning of relief came on to get the final out in the 7th inning. He'll face 2, 3, 4 in the Kettleers lineup. Keenan Innes, Tim Cisnara, and Gene Cohen. Righty from the full windup, kicks and fires. Fastball missed inside on Innes, 1-0. Innes 0 for 2. He also reached base on a walk his last at-bat. Arrington plays in at third, the 1-0. Fastball paints the outside corner for a called strike. 1 ball and 1 strike on Innes. 2 runs in the first, 3 in the 8th for Hyannis. Here's the 1-1. Check swing, and he takes a fastball strike on the outside corner, 1-2. That's 1 run. That came last inning in the 7th for Cotuit. Harbor Hawks up 5-1 as we play in the home half of the 8th. Swing and a miss, strike 3. Got him fishing at a changeup down and away, and there's out number 1 here in the 8th inning. 2 straight strikeouts for Stillman, and that'll bring out the DH Tim Cisnera. Cisnera 0 for 3, has not had an ideal game, struck out his first 2 at-bats, and popped into a double play in the 6th inning after failing to get down a sacrifice bunt. First pitch, he swings and chops one back to the mound, Stillman leaping up to grab it, runs towards first and underhands to Bortles, in time, 2 men away. So not an ideal day for Tim Cisnera. He's 0 for 4, and now Gene Cohen will hit with 2 outs and nobody on. Cohen 0 for 2, walked in the 4th inning. Hoping to jumpstart a 2-out rally here in the 8th inning for Cotuit, down 5-1. The righty deals, fastball. Cohen shows bunt, pulls it back, and takes low, 1-0. That draws Arrington in at third, and now he moves back towards his normal position. Here's the 1-0. Swing and a 2-hopper over to second. Shelby's got it, sets, fires to first in time, and the inning is over. Kettleers go quickly 1-2-3. To the 9th we go. It's the Harbor Hawks 5 and the Kettleers 1 on the Cape Cod Baseball League Network. 5-1 Hyannis on top as we go to the 9th inning here at Lowell Park. The Harbor Hawks looking for their 5th win in a row. Hoping to avoid a 4th straight loss. Darian Tubbs will lead things off. Came onto the game in the 8th inning to play defense out in left. And now he bats leading off here in the 9th. He'll face right-hander Cal Becker, who ended the 8th inning. And the righty pitching from his full windup starts the 9th. Tubbs a right-hand batter. Becker kicks and fires. A fastball that hits the inside corner for a called strike, 0-1. Tubbs, then Arrington, and then Robinson here in the 9th inning. You look to increase their 4-run lead. Becker into his windup, the 0-1. Swing and a dribbler foul, third base side. And the count 0-2 on Tubbs. 5 runs on 9 hits, no errors for Hyannis. 1 run, 6 hits, and 3 errors for the Kettleers. And on top of that, at least 3 plays defensively that the infield just couldn't make. Has not been a pretty day defensively for the Kettleers. Time called at home plate by Haney, with the count 0-2 on Tubbs, leading off the 9th inning. Now Becker ready. Pulls the glove by his face. Shakes off Haney once. And now into the windup. The 0-2 pitch. Curveball a little bit up and in. 1-2 on Tubbs, who went spinning out of the way of that one. Becker right back on that mound. And ahead in the count 1-2 on Tubbs. Here's the righty's pitch. Swing and a dribbler towards third. Tubbs falls down. And that ball must have hit his foot in the box. Wasn't called foul until Tubbs took about a step or two towards first and then collapsed in that base path. And he looks to be in a lot of pain.
Yeah, as the trainers come out to tend to him, that seemed to be, he seemed to just fall off his right foot. He is very visibly in pain. He's now rolled over to his right.
And that ball wasn't called foul at first until the umpire saw Tubbs take a stumble. And looking at the replay that we have, that ball certainly hit his foot in the box. That is not fun. He's lying on his back about 5 or 10 feet up the first baseline. Now he gets up with some help from the training staff. He's still bending over. That is not fun. So we'll see if Tubbs is able to stay in this game, trying to walk it off or limp it off a little bit. Still bent over with his hands on his knees. And what's interesting, too, is that until Tubbs fell down, I don't think either of the umpires called that one foul. I don't think anyone really realized until Tubbs fell down in a considerable amount of pain that that was a foul ball. It looked like it was just a slow roller towards third.
Yeah, well, I think the thing that made it kind of look confusing was Tubbs is a left-handed hitter, yet the ball went, toward the left, so figure that there's no way it really could have fouled off him. That means that it must have ricocheted off his right foot, which in that case you definitely understand how painful that must be, because for the ball to go over left as if he just hit a grounder over that side, but it actually came off his right foot, you have to figure that that was a very, very hard hit.
Well, Corey Bird is taking a few swings over by the on-deck circle, although it looks like Tubbs is going to stay in this game. He's leading off the ninth inning. Cotuit down 5-1 against their rival Harbor Hawks. 1-2 on Tubbs, who's now back in the box. Looks to be okay, a bit shaken up, but nothing too serious. Becker peers into Haney to get the sign. Takes a deep breath, and now kicks and fires home. Swinging a rifle into left field, a base hit, and Tubbs has a base hit. After all of that pain, it's probably worth it as he lines one right between third and short for his first hit in his first at-bat.
That was a good piece of hitting there. The first pitch he sees since falling off his foot, he is able to rock it into shallow left. See, there was a big hole kind of in the middle of the infield. Thought maybe he would go for there, but was able to split the third stop. Spencer Gay and Michael Pius.
Justin Arrington now the batter. Left-hand batter. First pitch, he takes a fastball at the knees for a called strike, 0-1. Arrington 0 for 3. He's struck out once, he's grounded out twice. Gay playing in at third. Cohn holds on the runner at first. Middle infielders Paez and Weiss back at double play depth. Becker set the 0-1. Fastball missed down and away. 1 ball, 1 strike on Arrington. Tubbs on first, no one out in the ninth inning. 5-1 Hyannis on top. That hit for Tubbs of the day for the Harbor Hawks. Becker peers into Haney, and now the righty comes to the high set. Spin, throw to first. Just a lob, and Tubbs dives back in safely. No tag made by Cohen, who had to come down the first base line a couple of steps to catch that throw. The 1-1 pitch, outside a fastball. Haney had to reach away for it. 2 balls and a strike on Arrington. Well, Arrington came into today's game with the second best average on the Cape League. He's hitting .438 in 16 at-bats. 0 for 3 today. So starting to come back down to earth a little bit. 2-1, he's ahead on the count here in the ninth inning. Becker's pitch, fastball, missed outside. It's 3-1. And now Haney calls for time and will trot out to the mound to talk things over with his pitcher. Just about a 1 or 2 word conversation. Haney right back behind home plate now. The two were on the same page. 3-1 on Arrington. with Tubbs on first, none down, top of the 9th inning here at Lowell Park. The crowd has certainly thinned down a lot as this game's gone on. The pitch, fastball off the outside, corner ball 4, and Arrington draws the walk. Well, Haney thought that was in the strike zone. Home plate umpire did not, and Arrington draws the walk. And now Coach Scott out to the mound. We'll see if that's all that Becker has in him today. There's some action in the bullpen for Cotuit. Looks like Kevin Ginkle throwing out there. No move to the pen made yet, though, so we'll see. Becker might stay in this game. And he's going to remain in. First and second, no one out. Becker in a bit of a jam here in the 9th inning. A single by Tubbs, a walk to Arrington, and now the top of the lineup, and Errol Robinson will be the batter. Robinson 1 for 4. He led off the 8th inning with a double, came around to score, as he jump-started that 3-run 8th inning for Hyannis, who now leads 5-1. Gay plays in at third, Cohen behind the runner at first. Becker set. Here's the first pitch. Curveball up and in. Robinson drops the bat, ducked out of the way as he avoided that pitch.
Yeah, that pitch was going right for his head. It turned his back to it in time, and definitely in that situation, holding on to the bat is not your priority.
Well, I don't think any intent there from Becker.
Right.
Looked like a curveball that just slipped out of his hands. 1-0 on Robinson, who's back in that box. Probably still has that pitch in the back of his mind, though. 1-0 the count. Here's the pitch. Down and away with a fastball. It's 2-0. Well, Ginkle still throwing in the bullpen down the left field line for Cotuit. So this might be Becker's last batter if he can't retire Robinson. Tubbs on second, Arrington on first. No one out in the 9th inning. Becker to the high set. Here's the 2-0. Fastball taken at the knees, a called strike. It's 2-1. Becker would love a ground ball out right here. Middle infield at double play depth. Gay playing pretty much even with third base and right where the grass cutout begins, so a pretty big hole through that left side. Weiss holds on the runner. The pitch, swinging a line drive towards right, towards the line, running over Stevens. He reaches down, he makes the catch for out number 1. And both runners retreat to their bases. Nice running play there by Stevens. That ball was slicing away from him, and he stuck with it to make the play. So 1 down. Austin Hayes now coming up. He's got 2 hits on the day, including a single, and he scored in that 8th inning. It was that 8th inning that really did in the Kettleers so far today. It was a 2-1 game until then. Cotuit had some momentum. And then Hyannis scored 3 runs. Becker set. Runners lead off first and second. First pitch. Curveball taken in the dirt. Blocked by Haney. 1-0. Well, just like when Robinson was batting, Spencer Gay playing about even with third base. Cohen behind the runner at first. And Paez and Weiss up the middle, hoping to turn 2 on a ground ball. Becker set. Looks to second. Now the leg kick in the 1-0 home. Fastball catches the knees, a called strike, 1-1. 5 runs, 10 hits for Hyannis. 1 run, 6 hits, and 3 big errors for the Kettleers. Cotuit on the verge of dropping a 4th straight game. Becker set. Now the 1-1. Curveball hit high in the air towards center. Moving over to his right is Peterson, and he makes the 2-handed grab for out number 2. That ball was hit way up into the sky by Hayes, but it got well under it, so an easy put out for Peterson. 2 straight flyouts. Now Javon Shelby the batter. He's 2 for 4, including an RBI single and a run scored, you guessed it, in the 8th inning. That's with Tubbs on second, Arrington on first, with 2 down in the 9th inning. Hyannis up 5-1. Becker set. Looks to second. Weiss holds on Tubbs. First pitch. Curveball taken right down the middle for a called strike, 0-1. Well, looking ahead to the bottom of the ninth inning, Cotuit will send up Court Peterson, Brett Stevens, and Spencer Gay. Three of them have combined 2 for 9 on the afternoon, and the Kettleers are going to need at least 4 runs in the ninth inning to keep this game going. Becker's 0-1. Curveball missed inside, 1-1 on Shelby. Today's game offensively keeps the trend going for Cotuit that really hasn't been enjoyable for this team. Including today, over the last 4 games, just 4 runs scored for the Cotuit offense. Becker set. Here's the 1-1. Swing and a rip foul back to the screen. A big hack at a fastball. It's 1-2. And for Hyannis, their offense continues where it left off in the midst of a 4-game winning streak. 25 runs over the last 4 games for the Harbor Hawks. Shade over 6 per game. And 5 and counting here this afternoon. Becker set ahead in the count 1-2 on Shelby. Still trying to get on the same page with Haney for the sign. And now Shelby asks for time. Becker back on the rubber. Holds the ball behind his back in his right hand as he gets the sign and comes set. Here's the 1-2 pitch. Curveball up and in. A fastball. Didn't hit him. Hit the glove of Haney and both runners advance. There was some chin music there for Shelby, who went down to the ground in a hurry to avoid getting hit by that one. Should be a wild pitch. Tubbs to third and Arrington to second. 93 miles an hour up and in. And Shelby drops straight to the ground to avoid getting hit by that one. That's not fun when your fastball is coming straight for your head. 2-2 the count. Becker set. The leg kick and the pitch. Curveball fouled in the box. He just got a piece of it to stay alive in the at-bat. So the at-bat goes on for Shelby, who I'm sure would love a little bit of revenge after Becker dusted him off with a fastball up and in earlier this at-bat. 2-2 the count. Becker now pitching from the full windup with second and third, 2 men down. The 2-2 pitch. Curveball a little bit off the inside corner. Full count on Shelby with Jake Knoll waiting on deck. So a full count on Shelby. He was looking for his 3rd hit of the afternoon. A hit would probably bring in 2 runs with second and third, 2 men down. Becker peers in for the sign, working from the full windup with second and third. Now the righties pay off, swing and a pop foul back over home plate. Count still 3-2. Well, Becker looking for that final put-away pitch here in the 9th inning. The first 2 men reached base, a single and a walk. Since then, he's induced a pair of flyouts. Looking for one more out here of Shelby. Becker takes a deep breath. Now into his windup. The 3-2 pitch. Down and away. A breaking ball nicely blocked by Haney. And Shelby draws the 2-out walk, and the bases are now loaded. And Jake Knoll coming up.
Again, this isn't the first time today that Kettleer pitcher has found himself in some trouble with 2 outs in the top of an inning. We saw that from Matt Milburn earlier in the top of the first with 2 outs, gave up 2 runs. And then right now, some more trouble for Cal Becker on the mound.
Well, Becker stays in to face Knoll. Here's the righty's first pitch. Fastball down and away. That one not even close to the strike zone. It's 1-0. Knoll is 2 for 4 on the day. Singled and scored in the first, doubled in the 6th, and drove and run with a ground out in the 8th inning and was robbed of a hit by Brody Weiss. A nice diving stop. The 1-0. Fastball down and away again. It's 2 balls and no strikes on Knoll. And no place to put him for Becker with the bases full and 2 down in the 9th inning. Hyannis up 5-1 and threatening for more. Becker from the full windup. Runners lead off all 3 bases. Here's the righties 2-0. Taking upstairs a fastball. It's 3-0. And now Becker on the verge of walking home a run. We'll see if Noel has the green light 3-0. Wouldn't be surprised to see Becker just groove him one to get one over the plate. Runners lead on all 3 bases. The pitch taken downstairs. Nope, caught the knees. A called strike 3-1. Another very delayed strike call from the home plate umpire. Haney threw that to first to try and pick off the runner Shelby. But he got back in safely. 3-1 the count. Becker takes a deep breath. He's been doing a lot of that this inning. Ready into the windup. He kicks and fires. Swinging a ground ball through the hole. A base hit into right field. 1 run is in. Coming around third is Arrington. The throw is cut off by Cohn. It's a 2-run single for Nola. Shelby goes to third. And it's 7-1 Hyannis. Well, that's what happens when you get behind in the count. Becker had to throw him a pretty hittable 3-1 fastball. And that's going to be the end of the afternoon for Cal Becker. Kevin Ginkel's going to come on to try and get the final out in the 9th inning. Already 2 home for Hyannis, still first and third with 2 men down. Becker's day is done, and Ginkel coming on to relieve him. He'll face Colby Bortles when we come back here in the 9th inning. 7-1 Hyannis on the Cape Cod Baseball League Network.
Bank of Cape Cod is proud to sponsor today's Cotuit former Kettleer. With branches in Hyannis, Osterville, and Falmouth, rediscover local banking with Bank of Cape Cod. Caleb Joseph has this replay from 2007. The summer I played in the Cape was one of the most enjoyable summers in baseball I've ever had. I lived with Dan and Ann Nastasi and became close with them. We've kept in touch over the years, and I've been able to see them on various occasions throughout my baseball career. I vividly remember the "Have a Hit" chant and the fans lined up in lawn chairs down each baseline at Lowell Park. It was an amazing experience playing against a lot of future big leaguers, and I still stay in touch with many of my teammates. Thank you, Kettleers, for making my experience an enjoyable one. Caleb Joseph with his Cotuit replay, brought to you by the Bank of Cape Cod with branches in Hyannis, Osterville, and Falmouth.
Seven-1 Hyannis on top. We're still in the top of the 9th inning. Here at Lowell Park, Kevin Ginkel, the hard-throwing right-hander, on to try and end this inning. Already 2 runs home in the frame for the Harbor Hawks, and they look for more with runners on the corners, 2 men down. And the big, powerful Colby Bortles coming up. Bortles 1 for 4. He ripped an RBI double to the fence in dead center field his last at-bat off of Cal Becker. Bats to Shelby on third, Noel on first, 2 men down in the 9th. Ginkel set, first pitch, curveball drops in for a called strike, 0-1. Ginkel making his 2nd appearance of the summer through a scoreless inning in Game 1 of Sunday's doubleheader against YD. Cohen holds on Noel at first. Spencer Gay about even with the bag at third. Ginkel set, the 0-1. Fastball upstairs at 95 miles an hour. 1-1. And after that pitch, Haney kind of pushed his hands down to say, relax a little bit, calm down, you're overthrowing to Ginkel, who just let that one fly. 1-1 on Bortles. Ginkel comes set. The left foot closer to third than his right. Kicks and fires. Curveball that hits the outside corner. 1-2 on Bortles. A big difference speed-wise between that fastball and the curveball. 95 on the heat, and then a 73-mile-an-hour curve. And Bortles just watched it into the glove of Will Haney. So 1-2 the count with 2 down in the 9th inning. Ginko looks to end the inning right here. Here's the 1-2 pitch. Fastball on the outside corner. Strike 3 called. Got him looking at 95-mile-an-hour heat, and the inning is over. But not before the damage is done. 2 runs on 2 hits, a pair of walks, and 2 men left. To the bottom of the 9th inning we go. It's Hyannis 7 and Cotuit 1 on the Cape Cod Baseball League Network. Seven 1, the Harbor Hawks lead. We go to the last of the 9th inning here at Lowell Park. Will Stillman looks to close things off for Hyannis. If he does so, he'll get the save, and he'll face 5, 6, and 7 for Cotuit, beginning with Court Peterson. The righty's first pitch is swung on and fouled off to the left, out of play, 0-1. Stillman got the last out in the 7th. After giving up an RBI single to Will Haney, threw a 1-2-3 8th, and now on for the 9th. Peterson, a lefty, is 0 for 3. The pitch, swinging a high fly ball, shallow center. Robinson out, backpedaling, and he reaches down and he drops the ball. Well, I tried for the over-the-shoulder play there, did Robinson, and he just dropped it.
And he'll be credited with an error there. Cotuit catches a break that should have been a pop-out. Court Peterson now finds himself on first with his teammate, Brett Stevens, up to the plate.
First error for Hyannis on the day. And the Kettleers base running however they can get him, down 6 runs in the 9th inning. Brett Stevens now the batter. He's 1 for 3. First pitch, fastball up and away. 1-0, and Rogers had to jump out of his crouch for that one. Stevens singled in the 2nd, lined out sharply to short in the 5th, and grounded out 3 unassisted in the 7th. Bortles holds on Peterson. Here's the 1-0. Fastball on the outside corner, a called strike, 1-1. Spencer Gay waiting on deck, and if we get past there, Brody Weiss here in the 9th inning for Cotuit. They need 6 runs to tie this game. Stillman's 1-1. Fastball a little bit off the outside corner. 2 balls and a strike on the left-handed batter from UCLA. Stevens making his first appearance of the year for Cotuit today. He and Peterson, new additions. The pitch, upstairs, a fastball, and the count now 3-1. No one throwing in the bullpen for Hyannis, so it appears that this inning belongs to Stillman, and Stillman only, unless he gets into a lot of trouble. Has a 6-run lead in the 9th. Set at the belt, the 3-1, fastball taken up and away, ball 4. So Stevens draws the walk, Peterson goes to second, and the Kettleers have runners on first and second with nobody out in the 9th inning, and Spencer Gay coming up. Well, that's the last thing you want to do if you're Stillman, is issue a free pass. It's a 6-run game. Really be better off throwing a 3-1 meatball right down the middle than issuing a free pass, but Stevens will take it. First and second, no one out. The right hand batting Gay the batter. He's 1 for 3. Stillman set. First pitch, up and in, a fastball. He turned out of the way. 1-0.
Spencer Gay back in the bottom of the 7th. Also, the lone run to score for the Kettleers was driven in by Will Haney.
Ahead in the count 1-0. You'd love to be on the RBI end of a hit here. The pitch, upstairs, a fastball. It's 2-0. Brody Weiss waiting on deck for the Kettleers. But first, Stillman has a 2-0 count and Spencer Gay to deal with. Righty set, looks to second where Peterson leads. The pitch, upstairs and not even close, a fastball. It's now 3-0. And Rogers will slowly walk out to the mound and now jog the rest of the way to talk things over with his pitcher. Well, some trouble here in the ninth inning for Stillman. It's a 7-1 game, so still a very comfortable lead for Hyannis. But Cotuit has runners on first and second with nobody out, and a 3-0 count on Spencer Gay, who my guess is taking all the way here, but we'll see. Peterson on second, Stevens on first. Stillman set. There's the 3-0 pitch. Fastball taken right down the middle, 3-1. I wonder how much of an impact the Robinson error had on just the mental confidence of Stillman here in the ninth inning. Might be a bigger play than it looked like at the time. 3-1, up and away, a fastball not even close, and the bases are loaded with nobody out.
2 straight walks issued by Will Stillman. Now Brody Weiss coming to the plate. He's going to make his first plate appearance after pinch running for Stefan Alames back in the 7th inning.
So now a chance for the Kettleers, some action up in the Hyannis bullpen. Bases loaded, no one out. And now a trip to the mound. Well, Peterson started off the inning, hit a pop-up into shallow center. And the shortstop, Errol Robinson, just had it tip off his glove and he dropped it. That was an error. Since then, a pair of walks. Well, fans, don't forget this Sunday, June 22nd, the Kettleers have a Father's Day doubleheader against Hyannis at 2 o'clock and then 5 o'clock. Come early and stay for both games with plenty of contests, prizes, and fun for the whole family. Find us on Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter at Cotuit Kettleers for updates. Bases loaded, no one out in the ninth inning. Peterson on third, Stevens on second, Gay on first. Brody Weiss gets his first at-bat of the afternoon. As Axel mentioned a moment ago, he pinch ran for Alames in the 7th. First pitch, up and in, a fastball, 1-0. Will Haney waiting on deck. Then Michael Paez. If we get there, Paez would be the tying run if everyone else reaches base safely. Here's the 1-0. Swinging a high fly ball to left center field. That one's well hit. Chasing back to Lucio near the wall, and he makes the catch running into the fence. Tagging is Peterson. He scores. Stevens tags and goes to third. It's a long out off the bat of Brody Weiss. The sacrifice fly. But more importantly for Hyannis, out number 1. Weiss didn't miss a grand slam by a whole lot. That was a great running play by DeLuzio.
Yeah, Weiss definitely got some lift on that ball out there into left center, but nice play by DeLuzio there to kind of stick with it the moment it hit off the bat and was able to kind of just range over to his right for the catch. But that was a good piece of hitting by Brody Weiss.
Well, it's an RBI for Weiss, but he would have loved more. Haney now the batter. First pitch, he checks the swing and takes a fastball low, 1-0. An unearned run because Peterson reached on the error. Well, actually, now change that error to a hit. Here's the 1-0. Swing and a miss. A fastball, 1-1. So it's the Peterson starting off this inning. Not an error on Robinson. So make that an earned run. Not sure why it's a hit. Robinson just dropped the pop-up, but you know what? Peterson, I'm sure, will take it. His first Kettleer hit. A 1-1. Check swing. Fastball taken downstairs. 2 balls and a strike. And now time called, another mound visit. And it looks like Stillman's going to come out mid-batter. Well, there was someone throwing in the Hyannis bullpen. And now someone on his way to the mound. Stillman leaves with a 7-2 game in the ninth inning. A 2-1 count with runners on the corners, 1 out. Will Haney the batter. And we'll be right back as the Kettleers try and rally here in the ninth inning on the Cape Cod Baseball League Network. Haney takes a fastball strike on the outside corner, 2-2 from Mark Skinner, the new pitcher. Skinner comes on mid at bat, replacing Will Stillman. So Haney, I believe if he walks, it belongs to Stillman. Anything else belongs to Skinner. The 2-2, swing and a miss, strike 3, got him with a curveball in the dirt. 2 pitches and Skinner's got a strikeout.
Will Haney today does have an RBI with a single that kind of dribbled into the right side of the infield back in the bottom of the 7th, but that was his 3rd strikeout of the evening.
Will Haney's known to strike out a lot. Struck out at 80 times. Mike Pius now bats, Cotuit down to its final out. First pitch swinging, he lost one, foul off the right, out of play, 0-1. 2 Hyannis in the 9th inning. The Harbor Honks for the win would win their 5th straight game. Cotuit would drop its 4th. Stevens on 3rd, Gay on 1st. The pitch, swinging a line drive into left field. That one's down for a base hit. Cut off towards the line by Tubbs. Going 1st to 3rd is Gay. Stopping at 1st with an RBI single is Pius. And it's 7-3.
You figure Pius really wanted to make some contact after back in the bottom of the 7th. He struck out with runners on the corner. This time he's able to drive one in and cut this deficit down to 4.
And Pius probably thinking to himself, well, why couldn't I have done that when it was 2-1 in the 7th inning? He does it here in the 9th inning. Now a 7-3 ball game. Keenan Innes the batter. And the first pitch squares to bunt, pulls the bat back, and takes inside a fastball, 1-0. Well, Tim Cisneros on deck. He is the potential tying run at this point. So Innes, if he gets on base. The pitch, swinging a ground ball to second. Shelby to his left has got it from the edge of the outfield. Grass throws to first, and the ball game is over. The Harbor Hawks take it by a final score of 7-3. 5 straight wins now for Hyannis. They're 7-1 and flying high in the Western Division. The Kettleers dropped their 4th straight game as they fall to 3-5 and 4 games behind Hyannis for first place in the Western Division. And Axel, the bats finally came alive at the end of this game a bit for Cotuit. It was just too little too late, and the pitching really just couldn't get things done late in this game.
Yeah, and that's kind of the common theme we've been talking about here with the Cotuit Kettleers. They've been struggling at the plate. As you said, they did kind of come alive near the end, but in a game that they are already trailing by 6 going into the bottom of the 9th. And, you know, we talk about how the pitching for the most part has kind of been pretty good, been pretty solid. Same was the case today. But the problem is that they kind of give up big innings. So we saw that the last 3 games. In each of those games, there was an inning where the Kettleers gave up 4 runs. And though that didn't happen today, there was 1 inning where they gave up 3, 2 in which they gave up 2. So the scoring, when it comes against the Kettleers, it comes in spurts, really. And that's something that has to kind of be contained moving forward.
And the offense not quite in those same spurts for Cotuit. They scored 2 runs in the 9th, 1 in the 7th. After not much offense through the first 6 innings, they kind of got something going late in this game, but just too little too late, and maybe something that going into tomorrow's game and the rest of the season that they can carry over, because definitely improvement offensively tonight after just 3 runs in the previous 3 games before this, but still 3 runs on most nights probably isn't going to do it.
Yeah, and tonight was one of those nights. I mean, Michael King and Aaron Tavale, Will Stillman pitched pretty well. Of course, Mark Skinner came in to relieve him, and one of those runs was Stillman's. But the Kettleers definitely, their hitting has kind of been an issue, and the 2 new guys today, Court Peterson and Brett Stevens, they combined to go 2 for 4. That's something that needs to be short. 2 for 8, pardon me. They both went 1 for 4. I think here Brett Stevens actually went 1 for 3. He walked. So just something to move forward. You know, the Kettleers need to get these to wake up, because they've lost 4 straight and now find themselves 3-5.
So 7-3 the final score today here at Lowell Park. That does it for us. The next game for the Kettleers right back here at home tomorrow night, a 5 o'clock start, as Cotuit takes on Brewster for the first time this season. For Axel Bawada, I'm Dan Silverman. Thank you so much for joining us tonight. Once again, the final score, the Harbor Hawks 7 and the Kettleers 3. We'll see you back here at Lowell Park tomorrow night.